Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to change this very last second as we had a forfeit from uh, Cursed Hollow. We had a forfeit from 9 to 5, so they're not willing to play against tonight against our other team. So we've got Infernal Shrines here. And so you can see on your screen here, Zul'jin Distillery has chosen our first map, so I'm just updating the overlay controller. Please pardon me if I seem like I'm a little out of my mind here. Sorry, no. Cats My Keyboard picked the map. First pick is going to Zul'jin Distillery. And we have Volskaya, Foundry, and Garden of Terror Band, and Braxis Holdout, and Cursed Hollow Band for Cats on My Keyboard. As I thank these teams for their patience as they did just last second let me get in here. So thank you everyone. We are hopping into a match. I'm so sorry it isn't playoffs, but we are going to get to watch the final game of the season for these two teams. So let's hop into the draft and see what we get. Oh, I might be wrong. Are we not Div C? Good. Oh, no, this is Div C. Div C is in playoffs. Okay, so this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. I am incorrect on that. So we are in playoffs here. Sorry, I had my brain totally set for something else, so I'm just being unhelpful to myself and to you guys, but this will be a best of 5 according to our Hoku. Our first ban will be Anduin by Zul'jin Discovery, as they have gotten first pick. Casted 7 series Saturday. Yeah, I wasn't planning on tonight, but Concept specifically asked me to stream tonight. So I got myself all ready. I was looking at how many points both teams had. I was getting some pre-draft information. And 9 to 5 didn't feel like playing it tonight. I get it. They made their choice. But yeah, I might need some correction with these two teams. So if you want a CoCaste, feel free to ping me or just say it in chat, because I have my I don't have a second screen right now, but if you want to jump in and be the smart person here, Hoku, feel free. Leoric gets a banned from Cats on My Keyboard. Mephisto pops on for as a ban on Infernal Shrines here from Zul'jin Distillery. So we're going to have the very last ban coming out. Now, there are a lot of things that can be useful on this map. Dahaka's pretty strong on this map. Tassadar is often chosen on the map. Diablo can be decent, especially with a Tassadar, and Boomer Gaming and Heroic has been playing a bunch of Hammer on this map. So tons of different options. And Dahaka is in fact the ban. So they are targeting the off laner here from Zul'jin Distillery, but they did take the first pick, and they are going to tell us what was so important that they let their opponents pick the map. And it looks like Hoku is going to CoCaste with us, guys, so we will throw that in there real quick. Thank you, IT Cowboy, for the follow. It will be Vala as the first pick, and strong on pretty well every map. Oh, thanks for letting me cast IT Cowboy. I really appreciate your guys' patience. It feels great when players are willing to play along with us. So we're going to quickly change our stream title so everyone knows that we have the awesome Hoku with us, but we do see a Blaze get chosen and Diablo, two excellent characters for this map. Diablo able to slam people into the walls, and Blaze able to clear very easily. So now we got 2 more picks left, and with Vala, it could be just about anything. So let's get this title changed really quickly, featuring Hoku as CoCaste. She's not going to jump in immediately, guys. She does need a quick second, but she will hop in when she has time. But soon you will hear her melodious voice, and there it is. So Tychus and Garrosh get picked. Tychus, an excellent pick into the Diablo, really burns him down. Now, Tychus Vala together does mean they're going to run slightly weaker wave clear, so I wonder if we see stronger, more pronounced wave clear push since neither of the DPS have been picked from Cats on My Keyboard. But they get the final ban, and it will be Malthael, which does take some of that, the ability for fast wave clear out of the offlane, because the Haka and Leo are already missing. Do you have any ideas what the final ban for Zul'jin Distillery might be, Hoku?
You have to realize that since I can't be in the lobby because I joined you late, I'm on a 30-second delay watching.
Oh.
so... So I'm going to do this by Braille. I'm guessing they're going to ban Brightwing.
They picked Alex Straza.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I wish I could give you a faster, more updated one.
No, that's fine.
But we'll pull you into game number 2. Hanzo, Brightwing are the picks. So we've got Blaze, Diablo, Hanzo, Brightwing. So far, a very strong composition. And you think of the 10s, if they're going Dragon's Arrow into APOC, that is a very long lockdown. And they got, I think, the only healer with an AoE cleanse. So the last 2 picks are healer and offlane. And Anduin's banned, and Brightwing is gone. So I think they're going to have to try and pick something that has at least 1 cleanse. It's Stukov, so no cleanse. And Thrall.
Although he doesn't have a cleanse, he does have a good way to sort of prevent things from happening before they happen.
Yeah. And they're gonna have to hope, they're gonna have to try and be a little predictive when it comes to these combos. Now the last damage dealer can come out, and Thrall can really break up these kind of, if they're coming in on that Jaina, the Ring of Frost to go with the arrow and APOC. There's some huge wombo ability from Cats on My Keyboard, but Garrosh and Stukov and Thrall Ultimate all have abilities to break these engages up. So it's going to come down to who can play their composition most cleanly on Infernal Shrines. But this is going to be game number 1 between Zul'jin Distillery and Cats on My Keyboard here in this best of 5 for the playoffs. I'm able to screen share to you, Hoku, if you want to watch that instead. I'll just make sure it's
that'll
not,
work.
And then I'll just make sure it's not playing sound for me. It isn't. Okay, perfect. Okay. Gucci. Bagatron, what up? Thanks for the follow, Olaka Koloha. Man, you guys have hard names on here. All right. So, in the blue, we've got Zul'jin Distillery. D-Wit on the Garrosh, Ankle Shot is on Vala, Nutcracker playing on Thrall, Be Fresh bringing Tychus, and Stukov is being played by Led. They represent the high heavens as you see the angel and their blue and white buildings. Would you like to introduce the red team, Hoku?
Sure. For Cats on My Keyboard, we have the line bus on Blaze, Apple playing the Brightwing, IT Cowboy on a hero I can't see, Ghost on a hero I can't see,
Jaina.
And PG Red playing Diablo.
And they are representing the black and red of the burning hells. They look to see if Garrosh is in there. He isn't. Level 1s, we've got Warbreaker from the Garrosh. They do flip an IT Cowboy, takes so much damage from it. So fast, the phase shift can't even come in. Explosive damage onto Jaina, but D-Wit is getting low now. Does use the Bloodthirst W to get some health back, and that is a slight early advantage, as Jaina is the wave clear hero for Cats on My Keyboard. There's the flip in on Diablo. He's getting fired at by Tychus, but a big flip comes out. Apple this time able to get the phase shift in and save Haka, who also used the soul shield to keep. Oh, he doesn't have soul shield. Well, then what? Oh, it was the pixie dust. I know how characters work. We got the Warbreaker, the quarterback. Fire at Will for Vala, Rolling Thunder, the Trolling Thunder from Thrall, and Reactive Ballistas Force, so no low blow on the Stukov. For Jaina, we got Winter's Reach, Adrenaline Stim Pack for the Blaze, which is normal in the offlane, Hyper Shift, Brightwing, Simple Geometry, so it is the Scatter Arrow build for this Hanzo, and we've got Feast on Fear from Diablo. What are you expecting to see here? What do you think we're going to see anything crazy here in the playoffs?
So, Tychus is probably one of the burstiest AA heroes in the game, so I'm not surprised that whatever Garrosh flips will get deleted like that, especially if the Stukov is following up on the Silence Puddle. The Stukov also makes it a little difficult for the Brightwing, because with the puddle down, she has to be careful about phase shifting in, or she will just phase shift in promptly to get silenced. So, although I do really like the clear on the side of. Oh my goodness.
Oh, but there is a big blizzard on Beaver, taking a ton of damage as his ankle shot, but they do burn down that Diablo. He tried to get aggressive, and this is what Cat's on my Keyboard needs not to do. Garrosh hates walking into a Brightwing. It really ruins his engage flow, but if Diablo jumps in, Tychus doesn't need the flip. And then you can just flip them back out because Diablo won't have, like, flip him back into your team as he's trying to walk out. Like, Diablo charging in, Garrosh ruins his day. And PJ Red is really going to have to consider what his engages look like because there is no living if he charges under towers. If a Garrosh is there and he charges under towers, he's not making it out. Unless Brightwing suicides for him.
Yep. So Jaina can't make Garrosh's life real difficult when she gains a few levels, just because all her slows means he can't just walk up and pick a target.
We do have the Indomitable at 4 for him. So if he can predict them, he can do some work. But I agree with you. Constant slows are a bugaboo for that poor fella.
Yep.
And
So
we'll see if Brightwing goes the speed at, I think it's 13, Icon said. My Brightwing lower is kind of iffy, but... So, red team doesn't even look like they want to challenge this. Hanzo and Jaina are going to charge the bottom. Now, this is an Arcane Shrine, which is one of the weaker ones in terms of siege. And someone's going to have to answer.
like this because they did commit all 5 to the objective. So
DeWitt flips in anti-cowboy. He almost dies, but it looks like perhaps Garrosh. He's getting body blocked here. DeWitt gets blown up. Going in 1v4, even when your Garrosh rarely ends well. But sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying I really like that play. I'm not sure what Mind Bus is going to accomplish here. They only need 4 more skeletons, so
he's giving us caster something to talk about because he's a caster himself. You know, he's just being a bro.
Blaze can't clear very fast, but I don't think he can clear that fast.
So teams are pretty well even on experience. The gate has gone down in the bottom, and if they defend well, they're unlikely to lose much more than a gate in the top. So really good and clear calls from Cats on my keyboard here. If you have a quick
thing I like about that early push in the bottom is it means someone had to go down and deal with it, so they couldn't push with the Punisher as hard as they could have. So
absolutely, they may not even leave the full gate here.
No.
Now, if you can do a quick Google for me, or not Google, but NGS check, what are the seeds of these two teams going into playoffs, Hoku?
So, Soldier Distillery is the first seed in Division C, and Cats My Keyboard is the 8th seed in Division C.
Okay, so 1 versus 8, but so far it's not showing up in the experience, showing up in kills. They're only 2-1. There is the jump by PJ Red, a good vault there from Ankle Shot. They're going to flip PJ Red in. He does flip Stukov, but he's taking so much damage, and he will die. The Lord of Error is aptly named. The offlaners are all doing offlaner sings.
So he might be able to get away with that later in the game. Once you get the QEQ combo, you could technically Q out to a minion or something to get out of that. But this early in the game, especially since he didn't have full souls built up.
The problem is DeWitt's done such a good job of being where his additional charge targets might be. He's just going to get flipped back in. If he gets flipped in, he can charge out. But if he charges in, he's in very risky territory.
Right.
But 10s will come out about a third of a level ahead for the members of Zildjian Distillery, and we're going to see Taunt. So Warlord's Challenge and not Decimate. We've got Commandeer Odin, Reign of Vengeance, Massive Shove, Hoku's favorite, and Thrall has yet to pick, but it's usually Sundering.
I could see an argument for Earthquake here, especially with the Tychus. The longer you keep them in Tychus's range, the more damage you can do to them.
And I would argue at 20 Earthen Shields against a team that's as bursty as Jaina Hanzo could actually keep them from... And it is EQ! Now, would you like to discuss some of the interesting ultimates we see on the flip side, Hoku?
So, on the flip side, we do see Ring of Frost instead of the Water Elemental. We see a Garrosh going down hard with those level 10s.
The APOC into Double Dragon, yeah?
Yep. We see Bunker, we see, I can't tell if that's Blink Kill. Yeah, that's Blink Kill. We see pretzel dragons instead of the stun. That's
We
interesting.
do. It was double dragon from
Yep.
APOC, and it murderized that Garrosh. So
But with both Ring of Frost and APOC, you do have a lot keeping them still to stay in the danger noodles there.
now I would argue
But
it's a little. Both of them are hard to hit raw without a setup, but I would have thought Dragon Arrow was the setup for both of those abilities to force people to be CC'd by them. Using each of them individually is going to get a touch messier, but you're right. If they land them, Double Dragons is going to shred anybody stuck in them. So Cats on my keyboard quickly recovering from that half-level deficit, and now they're a half-level ahead with 2 quick kills, which means both teams are going to have fairly equivalent priority coming onto this Mortar Shrine in the mid lane.
so we also have all but APOC back up again. So this could get explosive quickly. We'll see who blinks first. Odin has been popped.
Commandeer Odin comes out. LED or Lead has. I was an electrician before. Lead is keeping everyone topped off, and here is the puddle. IT Cowboy just trying to get as many minions as they can because they're 15 behind them. The APEC will come out. Lead tries using massive shove, and now he's stuck here. He's going to be killed by the Twin Dragons. He goes down, but they're all grouped up here, and B-Fresh is getting tons of damage. Bunker will go down, but DeWitt is murderized at the bottom, and this team fight got so split that it so far has gone hugely to the advantage of Cats on my keyboard. Ankle Shot trying to get away now, does use the vault, puts a little more damage out, now has 21 stacks of fire at will, but at 29 minions, they're forced to retreat.
So yeah, you don't really have to get all of them in the combo, as long as you get the right one in the combo, and Stukov is definitely the right one to get in that combo there.
So B-Fresh looking to clear this out, but Hanzo just coming in to push him, and B-Fresh can't stay. This is going to hard push top while a Mortar Punisher pushes mid whale. There's no gate here, and Thrall has pushed out bottom, which is now attacking the bottom fort, but this is a huge advantage in game number 1 for Cats on my keyboard.
I'd also like to point out that Hanzo did finish his scatter quest, so he is going to be very dangerous now.
Standing near a wall now means you're going to get Diablo charged and scatter arrowed. Don't stand near walls, guys. If you stand out in the open, however, you'll get APOC Dragon arrowed. So the choices are pretty darn limited if you're Zul'jin Distillery right now. Thrall will be able to clear top, but a hard siege is coming out bottom. Diablo can tank that now. He's maxed out on souls. Now, one area to keep an eye on is IT Cowboy is still only about halfway through that Frostbite quest, and the longer Jaina goes without her ice block, the later in the game, the easier it is in the late game is blow up a kill. But there is the flip on the apple. Brightwing taunted and killed. Out comes the Double Dragon and the Circle of Frost. But this time it is not going in their advantage. Line Bus comes in, but that charge is going to miss. DeWitt will knock 3 people up. Lead gets flipped out. That's fantastic work there from the Into the Fray. PJ Red charges in, but he does get killed, loses all his souls. IT Cowboy getting very low, still doesn't have the ice block, and Ankle Shot will kill Jaina. Ghost manages to hit a big shot, puts Ankle Shot low from the scatter arrow, but Lead manages to get the big QD out and pops a huge heal. Now PJ Red trying to scout out. It will get flipped in by DeWitt, but here comes the Brightwing, and the Fruit Fly will secure Diablo's reign for now. This fort in the bottom is very low, and in the mid, Nutcracker's forced to deal with this. Is PJ Red going to try to come in here? He gets the vision. Will he charge in? No. He just wants to... He wanted to see if it was possible. It was not possible. Sorry, go ahead, Hoku.
So I was going to say, it looks like Cats on my keyboard have really practiced that combo when they can set it up, but when they have to do it kind of unexpectedly,
impromptu.
Yeah, it's a little less clean.
Well, and in choke points it works, but in tiny choke points like these vent areas, it's a lot harder to know where you want to land that, because the Ring of Frost, the middle of it goes where your cursor goes, so you don't actually have, unless he has it on cast on release, he doesn't get to see where the circle itself goes, which does make it a lot harder to hit, unless you've played, 2,000 games of Jaina. That's why it's often called Ring of Loss, because if you miss it even by a little bit, completely worthless.
I suppose you could get the level 20 upgrade, which nobody takes.
I did once see somebody play Stukov with Jaina, and they put the lurking arm directly in the middle. It's almost the exact same size as the middle of Ring of Frost, and it absolutely screwed the enemy team. It was impressive just how bad it would get for them.
Okay, so we're at 16s for both teams now. Tends to be a big power spike for a lot of heroes. So this next altar phase should be very, very interesting. It looks like they're going to go finish off the top fourth, though.
We have double percentage damage at 16 from Tychus and Vala, and Diablo should be very uncomfortable walking anywhere near the enemy team at this point. But they will steal this camp. They are going to go for top four, but it looks like, at least at the moment, they've ceded control of the point of a very strong Frost Punisher to the members of Zul'jin Distillery. They are rotating down now. Perfect vision arrow there from Hanzo. It's actually called Sonic Arrow.
This is actually good timing because it's only about halfway done, so you still have plenty of room here.
Here comes the double dragons. The APOC will come out. They get it onto the Tychus in his Odin, but the Silence Puddle comes out. Excellent work there by Led. The Ring of Frost will come out and hit too, but Ghost is unable to get huge damage there. Line Bust does get tossed in. A good blink heal there from Apple as the Blizzard is chunking people out. And that was a good bunker. D-Wick gets incredibly low and he will die, but health bars otherwise are fairly close together. The puddle will come out again, and Frozen Punisher will go over, but Stukov will die in return. Kaboom. And the kills are 7-7. We got double Bruiser Camp, and it's already taken a keep gate, which is more than this Punisher, without help, will get in the bot.
Exactly. So it ends up being a good trade. Going for the kills rather than for the objective was a smart move, because now they absolutely can't push with this. So they should be able, and it's a Frozen Punisher, which is
well, they're gonna kill the Punisher and then take the bot for it. Like, there's not really anything Zul'jin Distillery could do. That was the very definition of a Pyrrhic victory. They let them have the point and said, we don't even want it. We're just gonna kill you and take what we want to take.
Now, IT Cowboy's gonna go sneeze on the floor.
And he now has got his Frostbite. He finishes off the bottom fort as Line Bus starts this Khazar camp. And for the 8th seed, this has got to be so encouraging. Come into game 1, slam around your opponents. There is the flip on IT Cowboy. He does drop the Ring of Frost. Out comes the taunt. The Double Dragon will come out as well. Oh, the Jet Propulsion just misses Stukov. The massive shove will push Diablo away, but DeWitt is still unable to survive. As Diablo,
the blue team got very split there.
As Diablo comes back from his Antarctica vacation, because he went deeply south on that one. So in the mid lane, Khazra push, and if they can delay Zul'jin Distillery here, they will probably start getting this gate down. The APOC will come out, looking for the flip onto Ankle Shop, immediately deleted. She had a health bar, then she didn't. There is the root onto Lead. He is able to walk out. The Commandeer Odin will come out for the for the counter siege. I can't think of the word right now. But he's here. He's going to try and clear this out. The wave clear, but it is a 5v3. IT Cowboy tries to get the root there. Doesn't quite hit it, but they have 20s. Ice Blink is here. Burn Notice, Invisible Friends, the Dragon Awakens, and Hellgate from Diablo.
Interesting to see the Burn Notice. Normally you get the bunker upgrade because 50 armor is no joke, although it's not as effective into the percent damage.
You know, sorry, go ahead.
It still prevents a lot of that. Oh my goodness.
The Hellgate comes out, as does the Ring of Frost, and they're going to look to delete Lead here. There's not much they can do to save him. Oh, it didn't look like Into the Fray was available, and they do kill Stukov. Now, I've played a lot of Jaina. I have never taken Ice Blink. But then again, I usually take Welly and then Welly upgrades, so. But they're just free sieging here. And again, the Khazar camp here did delete this wall, which means they're just walking straight into. And at this point, they're just staggering kills. Zul'jin Distillery is so caught up in this wave of momentum that they're staggering kills without even meaning to, because they have no control in this game right now. All they can do is watch as Cats on My Keyboard does whatever they feel like. Go ahead, Hoku.
Well, one thing to note is Cats on My Keyboard doesn't have the greatest actual siege damage. They have a lot of hero damage, but their siege damage isn't as strong as something like an Odin. So that may be why they're not trying to go for... Oh, hello.
They use an aggressive double dragon to see if they can cut somebody off for the gank. I believe that's what it was for because he now has the cooldown at 20. So my suspicion is he used that specifically to see if they could get B-Fresh on the upside to gank and kill him since they were rotating out. But B-Fresh very smartly rotated to the southwest and got away. But they're now going to defend their race on the shrine. It will be a mortar in the top lane, and there's not a single building down yet on on the red side. Cats on my keyboard looking dominant against the first place team here in game 1. DeWitt will throw in PJ Red. The Ring of Frost will come out, but so will Earthquake. It is a 20-20 fight. The bunker will come down. B-Fresh is getting incredibly low, and the Scatter Arrow will kill him. The Earthen Shields were taken, but not enough.
So Apple made an absolutely brilliant play where she was already blinking in as the Diablo started taking that damage. So although his health bar dropped alarmingly fast, it also came back alarmingly fast.
Ankle
so
shot
really
once
good
again.
Heads up play by Apple there.
Cats on my keyboard have played so clean on their target. I don't know who is calling their target shots, but it has been tremendous. And DeWitt tries to get the slow on them, but the cleanse comes out from Apple, meaning they can just siege again as Linebus is in the top doing his pew 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 with the adrenaline stim pack. DeWitt's taking a ton of damage. That Scatter Arrow barely missed out on the kill on Garish, as Double Dragon will come out again and just say hi to the core, but twice. Top keep will go down as well, and once again, 3 seconds left on Tychus, 15 seconds left on Vala. This is a desperate attempt, and again, I never call for throwing, but I think, honestly, if you're Zildjian Distillery here, you do your best job to defend, but if it goes bad, you just let it go and go into game number 2. Don't let this tilt you. Don't let this get in your head. You had a tough game. Just move on. This has been so rough the last about 6 minutes of this game. Ankle shot, trying to get damage onto this Mortar Punisher. APOC will come out. There's the flip on a Tychus. Speed takes so much damage. They're just perfectly coordinating the charge into the jet propulsion, and the damage is following up perfectly. They knew what they wanted to do. They executed it, and that gives them game number 1. Goes to number 8 seed. Cats on my keyboard. GG.
That was the epitome of execution. When they talk about comps, there's always the comments, a better comp but harder to execute, and they did. There were a couple of whiffs of the Danger Noodles, the Double Dragons there, but in terms of the follow-up, especially between the Blaze and the Diablo,
Hanzo
that
doing
was just spot on.
30,000 more damage than the Tychus. It just speaks to how free he was in the backline to just keep firing away. The Diablo Blaze made it so that Hanzo was never in danger. Jaina was a few times, but Ghost, he could have had a crumpet and some tea back there. Or he's Japanese, so some tea and some sushi. Never in danger. Taking a quick look, we got a pretty... Oh, no, we don't have an ordinary. This is the Stun Diablo build with the reset, as you'd mentioned. We've got a bit of a hybrid build here from the Hanzo. Fairly standard. And again, I've heard... What are they called? Brightwings say they like Criterize in the team environment because when you do select a person to kill, they go down immediately. The Jet Propulsion build is pretty standard at this point. The Jaina build is pretty good. So Earthen Shields I do like, but this was just not enough. And even with Farflight and Bob and Weave, things were so out of control for them at that point, even with, perfectly fine builds. When you're always fighting 5v4, what are you supposed to do?
Die horribly.
and Cats on my keyboard, boy, did they come to play in this best of 5. They are ready to send it and end it. So we'll pull...
That was very well done. But do note, this is the first round of playoffs, so we are in the best of 5. They do have to win 2 more. Not impossible. They certainly showed their mettle in that first one. But they will have to be in it for the long stretch, and I seriously doubt they'll be getting those kinds of comps in the next one.
Yes, I strongly doubt it's going to be 3-0 for the 8th seed. Zildjian Distillery is a very good team, and you know what? They're the first team for a reason. and they know their business. They know what they need to do to turn this around. They've been behind in a series before. They're not going to let this, rattle them. Yeah, at this point, you don't think 1 versus 8. You lost 1 game to your opponents. You only have to win 3, and you got 4 more opportunities. So, go on
Yeah,
out there and get it.
I do think having a cleanse would have made a big difference. A Rhaegar or possibly even a high five Lucio could have saved things. But I don't hate the Stukov pick, and usually Garrosh is a hard counter to the Diablo, as we saw in the early game. So I don't necessarily think that Zul'Jin's Distillery missed their draft so much as I think that Cats on My Keyboard executed theirs perfectly.
Well, and the spicy spaghetti, the danger noodles there, I think really faked out Garrosh in the sense that he always wanted to be out front and center, specifically the center of like their comp and his comp. And while his teammates could kind of split out of it, if he was right in the center and the Ring of Frost came down, it was either get stuck in the Ring of Frost or get hit by double dragons, and a lot of times it was both. So he really, even without what I would say like is a specific percent health damage character, Hanzo really made Garrosh look ETC-ish. Like he just has a tiny hit point pool. And I mean, I have to assume that Ghost is going to have that Hanzo banned out from here because that was a clinic on how to play Hanzo in Div C.
Yeah, it was very good.
Although
so the question is, what kind of adjustments do you think that Cats on My Keyboard are going to make? They have to assume that they won't be, given a comp like that again for free. Are they going to try to do another style of Wombo comp? Or are they going to just kind of look to play something a little easier to execute?
If I'm Cats on My Keyboard, if my opponent gives me the same comp again, I'm immediately taking it. Obviously, the bans they had were for a reason. And so if I were them, I would dare them to ban the same things they banned last game. Now, granted, I feel like Jaina mostly gets picked when she does get picked on this map because you can force mid-range fights. She isn't going to be the choice on every map. Like, now Volskaya is banned, but on other big, more open maps, like, say, an Alterac Pass, I don't think she has as much value. But yeah, I mean, I think you try to take as many pieces as worked for you. And I think you try to take the maps with a lot of walls, because PJ Red's Diablo, while early on he looked like he was getting caught a bit, in the late game, he was the Lord of Terror. He went from the Lord of Error to the Lord of Terror, and all he needed to do was pick up some tea.
Oh, wait, so they're going to draft Lily. Got it.
Yeah. So, we've just been given game number 2, and it will be on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, we'll find out who picked this one. And, but Tomb of the Spider Queen. I love this map for a specific, it looks like ComK picked the map. Okay, so once again, first pick goes over to Zul'Jin Distillery. I love this map because it is the 3-lane, 2-lane map, I like to call it, in my head. First of all, Stitches is a global hero on this map after 13, which sucks. But PJ Red is offering to let Hoku tank for the playoffs. That's very kind of him. But Tomb of the Spider Queen, what you want here is an offlaner who can gank with a lot of impact. So Kira can do a lot here. Blaze can do a lot here. But I like... We've got all kittens on the portraits for the side of Zul'Jin Distillery and all tigers on the side of Cats on My Keyboard. And I'll be honest with you, that was kind of what we got in the end of last game. We had the kittens versus the tigers. So we'll have to see if these roles reverse.
So one thing to be aware of when playing offlane on this map is you do want to have an offlaner that's hard to gank. Since the lanes are really close together, it's super easy for the 4-man of the enemy team to rotate down and try to pick off the offlaner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you tend to see a lot of like Leoric here or Blaze. They tend to be very durable and have ways to get out of things if possible.
Tanks who can safely destroy... Sorry, you weren't done yet.
Oh, and I was gonna say, and if you do play offline on this map, you 100% want to download that minimap DLC. It makes all the difference.
That's very expensive. If you're a new player coming in from Game Pass, definitely get the minimap DLC. Very important. Now, tanks on this map are generally strongest if they can safely disrupt rotation. So things like Stitches, Anubarak, Johanna, things you can get people off their horse to make them take an extra, 3/4 to 1 1/4 seconds to get into lane, so you can try getting prio ahead. Lanes are fairly short, so good wave prio is at a premium. So
It's also a great map for both Diablo and Garrosh because there's a lot of walls for Diablo and there's a lot of hiding places for the Garrosh.
Absolutely.
So let's see where we go with this.
So last map, Zul'jin Distillery also had first pick. They got a decent comp, but it felt like they got outplayed in the draft a little bit with them having to respond to what Cats on My Keyboard picked. So we'll see. That Anduin was the first ban last time. They're going with it again. And again, I wonder if we see a very similar draft or if they're in fact going to try and pick away some of the heroes that were so successful. Like if you don't ban the Hanzo, does B-Fresh or Ankle Shot just first pick it? I mean, you do not want to let a Hanzo on this map.
I mean, you could also pick either the Blaze or the Brightwing yourself to get that AoE cleanse, or to get the protection of a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other ways to prevent that, or just pick a Johanna who can make everybody unstoppable.
Yeah. And again, if you're Cats on My Keyboard, you're happy if it's the same draft as last time. The last time you drafted this, you won. Leo and Dahaka were their first bans. I believe it was... I'm drawing a blank. It was Anduin and Mephisto last time, and it is Anduin and Mephisto again.
Fair enough. Mephisto is very strong on this map.
And I'm guessing that's the IT Cowboy pick, seeing as he was the mage player last time. I think it was Xanthanarium who plays him really well in a different div.
Yeah, I've seen actually a couple of good Mephistos on this map as well as Infernal Shrines.
No,
it is the Dahaka ban again.
I will say, I think the 1v1 offlaner is underrated on this map, but it can make a huge difference. You can bully someone to just sit under their towers, and you can rotate more. You can really put kind of a kink in your opponent's plan. Now, Brightwing is the pick-away pick. Yes.
Yep.
Vala, though, they take away the Vala, and they get Johanna. And if I recall, PJ Red as a pretty formidable Crusader.
Yeah, Johanna's one of those tanks where she isn't necessarily a flashy tank. She isn't necessarily a specific comp tank, but she's kind of a reliable tank. She's sort of like the blue jeans of your wardrobe.
Yeah, I feel like she kind of fits. She's a plug-and-play tank, and she kind of defeats what Garrosh and Diablo want to do. But Diablo will come out. We'll see if DeWitts can look nearly as impressive as PJ Reds. Malthael was banned at this slot last time. This time, Nutcracker picks it up early. But both DPS slots are still to be picked. And I wonder if we see something specific banned out, like the Tychus for the early game, or like the Hanzo, because Ghost won't be on it this time.
I mean, the Tychus isn't as scary for Johanna as some of the other heroes. The Malthael, honestly, is a little scarier than the Tychus.
The Kale Foss ban, that's interesting. He does provide a lot of pressure on this map, especially with short lanes, but he's also pretty gankable once the game gets later.
So the question is, does Zul'jin Distillery take the chain up?
That is an option. I wonder if they ban a specific healer here. Stukov can be very annoying on this map, too, with puddles. And I wonder if they want to create a choke here against Apple. But they've only got 0 seconds left to do it. It is the Tychus. They ban the Tychus since they can't pick it, and they do have the Diablo. 2-0 or 1-0 Cats? It is 1-0 Cats. Did I hit the wrong button? Did I say that they won this map instead of picked this map? That's entirely possible. Yeah, I said they won. Sorry, they picked this map. Thank you for catching that, IT Cowboy. Or Aloka Kaloha. Oh
my goodness.
Blaze Junkrat. And Junkrat is so good on maps where you have tight areas. The mines and the traps are so frustrating. Blaze, Linebus already showed us he can follow up on a stun very well with that jet propulsion. I would be terrified of stepping in a trap, if I'm Zildjian Distillery this game, and Blaze is within a screen of me. We have both damage dealer slots left to go. Chromie comes out. I think we're going to see something. Something that can do a little bit of wave clear. Well, Chromie can do wave clear too, but we see the Falstad. This has got some interesting playmaking potential, but if you go, say, APOC and Gust, you also have the potential for anti-synergistic ultimate, so they're really going to have to consider how they want to play this. The Ariel comes out, and since Johanna essentially has... She doesn't have a self-cleanse, but she has an anti-CC button. Ariel's a little more pickable here.
Ariel can also assist if Chromie decides to go loop. She can do the Aegis to help counter that.
But that is the draft for game number 2. We're going to pop into this game. Let's see what these teams have to bring us. Can Cats on my keyboard take Zildjian Distillery to the brink, or will Zildjian Distillery fight to put us on even footing? Let's find out.
But first, no, I'm kidding.
But first, here's our advertisement. Do you guys like eating food? Go to your local grocery store. Is your food really expensive? Blame Republicans. Moving on. All right.
Okay.
I'm Canadian, so I don't really have a dog in this fight. I'm just being silly, but please don't take that as an actual political statement from your northern neighbor.
So would you like to introduce the red team this time?
Sure, I'll pop on over to that side. We have... Cats on my keyboard. PJ Red is on the Johanna. We've got Linebus on the Blaze. IT Cowboy is on Junkrat. Ghost has brought Vala, and Apple is happy on the Angel of Hope. Ariel. Hoku, who's the blue team again?
The blue team, we have DeWitt playing the Diablo, B-Fresh playing the Falstad, Ankle Shot on the Chromie, Nutcracker on the Malfail, and Led playing the Brightwing. Ankle Shot should be Ankle Fighter because Chromie comes up about that high.
So, we do have the Devil's Due here. No one taking Soul Shield today, which is interesting to me. There is the flip and the grab onto Johanna. The body block is good, but again, she can pop Iron Skin and walk out without even taking a point of damage. We do have the Hammering build, Gathering Storm for this Falstad. Deep Breathing, the Dragon's Breath quest for Chromie. Linebus goes a little deep, but they're able to keep him safe at the moment. We have Death's Reach, so the W enhancement for Malthael here makes him a bit more of a duelist and a kill securer than some of his other talents, because he's not really needed to double soak in this game, so his 2 speed talents at 1 aren't as necessary. And we do have the Hyper Shift from Brightwing. What are you thinking about these level 1 abilities, including the risky one from Vala here on the red team, Hoku?
I mean, the risky one from Vala, if you trust your tank, and Vala is one of the best protect tanks, and there goes Diablo, it's not as hard to stack up if you're oh my goodness, and there goes all the front line.
So that was a fantastic turn, actually, from our red team. And a third kill! They are playing out of their minds tonight. So Diablo went in, charged Apple the Ariel into the wall here, and the team just immediately supported her. And that meant Diablo could not get away, was early killed with a very low number of souls, and with the rest of Zildjian Distillery attempting to back up their Diablo, they were baited into a fight they couldn't win early on. So really, really well played. Now there is the jump onto Vala. Ghost is going to vault back out. DeWitt being very aggressive, but he has no range damage dealers here, as Chromie is currently offlaning against Linebus. Seems right. Anyway, you were saying something completely different.
You were asking about the level 1 talents, and I was thinking I was talking about the Vala until I got distracted. But yes, when you have a beefy front line, which you do in Johanna and then Blaze, Ghost just playing with fire, it is safer to take that talent. The one that did surprise me though was. Goodness gracious.
Cats on my keyboard have come into this game wanting to murder everyone always forever. They woke up today and chose violence.
I was going to say the one that surprised me was the one from Malthael. I know his
that was a weird
he's getting
interaction.
buffed in the next patch, but it hasn't been there yet. So I kind of would have liked to see the Fear the Reaper at level 1, just because movement speed when you're in the middle of a team fight can never be underestimated.
And you can't be body blocked, which is important. Are they going to try and kill Line Bus here? They do charge onto him. The rest of the team was taking the Bruiser, so it does look like he might take a lot of damage. He does have a lot of health. There's the Jet Propulsion, though, and there is the Pixie Dust onto DeWitt, and they cannot get any kills. They're down 4 kills to 0, and they're really struggling. Now, we do have Creed of the Hunter from Valda, and as Hoku was telling us, it can be a pretty safe choice to take. On a small map, there are times it's risky, but Ghost has looked so good on auto attackers so far. Why not trust him to be your hyper carry? We do have the Searing Light and the Repeated Defense from our Ariel. We've got the Adrenaline Stim Pack, Flashlight build from our, I almost said Jaina, Johanna, and Tricky Shuffles, but it looks like he's going into the Trap build here. And because
one thing to note is because of the weird everybody fighting bottom for so long, DeWitt has not been able to do the traditional double soaking mid and top like you normally see in the 4-man, so he's a little low on souls still. He's only up to 49, which isn't a lot that's at this point in the game.
With so much control with all these kills, they easily, sorry, Cats on my keyboard, easily gets the turn-in, and Ghost has already got 70 stacks at 4 minutes. Like, he's just autoing with total impunity. Now, the deep breathing is coming out and doing a ton of damage, but you know what cancels out lots of damage? Ariel. B-Fresh needs to be careful. He did take about 2/3 away from this top Web Weaver. Mid is at a third and will be cleared, while Nutcracker looks to crack the spider butt instead of a nut in the bottom lane. I realized afterward that sounded dirty, but his name is Nutcracker. There is the whip. Earlier we saw a funny interaction where Diablo got whipped and then got bombed over the wall, but he still had the chain marker on him from the stun animation, which was very funny. I might try to clip that later as just sort of a, like, tee-hee. Or we can let Cyanide do it, winky face.
Line Bus better look out, because he's pretty far forward, and they're all here. And,
the absolute perfect charge to interrupt that. He's dead. Will he get out? No. Again, the extended strike there. The deaths reach now. Nutcracker's in a very precarious position. Slowing Sands has come out. It's already level 8, and that is the end. It is now a 1-for-1. There is the phase shift for Diablo, but lead is incredibly low, and now B-Fresh has to be careful. He's at 20 gems. He cannot afford to die. He's dead, and 20 gems down the drain. 17 more from Diablo. Now, he did have full souls, but no one can walk in for these gems, and they had turn-in. Now they have not even half. This has been...
That was rough to lose the full stat.
Oh, no, it's his team that had the slowing sand, so... Oh, I thought that was a problem for Malthael, but it was helpful.
Yeah.
10s have come out a full level ahead. Are we sure this is 1 over here and 8 over here? We've got Rain of Vengeance, Crystal Aegis, Bunker Drop, Blessed Shield, and Riptire coming out from Cats on my keyboard, who have come out with a vengeance. Apparently, these kiddies can keyboard like nobody's business. There's the Blessed Shield. They're going to go hard. Chromie has a very small hit point pool. Led trying to help. Ankle Shot takes so much damage. There's a stun on the kill. And a whole bunch more. They're down to just 20 with the 9 on Lead. The other 11 have just been picked up since kills happened. This is a domination. This is absolutely... It's 8 kills to 1 right now. And I wonder if...
Yeah.
If Zul'jin Distillery just has to swallow their pride and take map pick, because they're not just going to win on any map. There's another Diablo kill. As 10s come in, the Mighty Gust does knock in 2. Johanna did pop Irons, and Ghost is going to take a lot of damage here. They're going to look to kill Ghost, but out comes the Crystal Aegis, meaning Last Rites cannot kill her. The Dragon's Breath will come out. Apple takes a lot of damage, but she doesn't even care if she dies, as long as Ghost is alive. Oh, a good snipe there, though, from B-Fresh. Means that Ariel will have to go back to the Hall of Storms and hope she doesn't die next time. Oh, a good barrel roll there. Very nice. IT Cowboy's going to turn in 11 here, and he does get them. They're only 16 away from a full turn-in, while, again, Zul'jin Distillery doesn't even have a full turn-in. Led's going to turn his in before he dies next time. Out comes the Apocalypse, and who's going to follow up? Nobody. They do get IT Cowboy with a great snipe from Ankle Shot, yikes. DeWitt goes incredibly low, but they do manage to support him this time, and they're just starting to fight their way back in, but almost no damage to the gate. A little bit of damage to the gate, almost no damage to the gate. Oof.
I will, big invade.
This is huge, because they still don't have Junkrat.
Yep, and they do have gust. So I was going to say one thing they need to be careful with. If they don't win by 20, that's when Wind Tunnel comes online. And Wind Tunnel, if you take off the D, is a wind tunnel.
Absolutely true. I am so glad we've got the double wordplay, folks, in this chat today. Taco, take note. You got to bring Hoku on if you're going for just the talky good times. I thought you were just a tank and offlane legend. I had no idea you're also a caster legend. Oof. Making me look bad, Hoku, and I love it.
Yeah, love that.
So we've got 38
Okay,
stacks
so
here for the
Red
Gatherings. I
has
put 110 on
another
Creed of the Hunter already. And if I'm correct, that's still 0 deaths on the Vala. It is. So Ghost is once again in the carry role and feeling very comfortable doing so. It is a second consecutive. Now they're going to leave the bottom one because there's no fort to defend, but mid is almost certainly going to go down. They grab
no.
D-Wit. He does charge out to Iggy Cowboy. There is the phase shift, and they're forced to use the not Wind Tunnel, the Mighty Gust to get Diablo. Don't stand in the purple, Diablo. The floor is lava, man. And Diablo just seems a little bit lost this game. He's not on a Diablo-themed map, so he probably is like, what is this nonsense? A good kill on the Riptire means it will not explode and take anyone with it, but that amount of pressure means the Webweaver does take the top, and in the middle, Nutcracker has just managed. Now, credit where it's due, DeWitt did manage to get out of a huge gank here with a perfect shadow charge, but they will lose all 3 forts with just 2 spider drops, and cats on my keyboard are looking fire right now.
They're also looking for boss, which is a little iffy. There is a Falstad on the map, although on the flip side there is a Junkrat on the map. They are aware of this.
This boss is going down really fast with this attack of this Creed of the Hunter Vala. But they're going to have to give it up. They want to fight, but they're jumping on a D-Wit. A great charge. The APOC gave him the vision to do so. Here comes the phase shift. The Mighty Gust comes out, but the A just keeps Junkrat alive just long enough to get sniped by Chromie. The Slowing Sands is here as well. PJ Red is taking a ton of damage. Is he going to drop the last rights? It's already down for some reason. Linebuzz has to drop Bunker, and the boss pit is once again a throw pit. And now it looks like the blue team would like to lose 2 or 3 characters by trying to take the boss.
We saw the Aegis save from the last rights again.
Oh, that's what it was for. Okay. DeWitt looking to turn in here. Again, Ghost does not go down in that bit of a debacle. But again, at level 13 or level 14, unless you're Shanks playing against my team, you can't take the boss this early safely. It just doesn't happen. Gosh dang you, Yavapai, and your absolutely nonsense but really cool drafts that I like a lot better as a caster than as your opponent. With very good timing, Ghost and Apple go down and do take the siege camp, which will be going straight to the keep wall. But they want to get pressure. They want to keep their momentum up. Zildjian Distillery will push with this boss to try to get at least... Now, Led does get knocked forward, but not as close as Junkrat was hoping. The Long Sands will come out. They will be able to take this out, and blue Webweavers are coming out. Oh, this... Webweavers actually lose to Siege Camp. This Webweaver will be dead, and they will have to answer this. It looks like they want to go straight for core, though. They're willing to give up keep wall if they can get the same in return. And I guess Falstad can always fly down if they feel it necessary. All ultimates are available except for Riptire here.
But more importantly, Falstad can hard back, deal with that, and then fly back to the fight. So
now it looks like the wave is doing some work here. Webweavers are still up, so they will get the gate in the top lane with the boss Webweaver combo. In the mid lane, it's pretty well stalled out. So this is their only opportunity. But the big fight's coming out. The whip will miss. Out comes Apocalypse. The bunker will save people. The last rights will come out, but Apple will not go down because of a big heal. And that's all the ultimates except for Rain of Vengeance out for Cats on my keyboard. And, well, 3 ultimates out for Zildjian Distillery, who are now going to see if they have enough pressure to take the mid as well. A huge aggressive jump in from DeWitt, and they do manage to kill Linebus there. A lot of damage is now coming out on DeWitt as Ghost is going to try and kill him over the wall here with the Hungering Arrow. Not able to. Be Fresh. Oh no, Ankle Shock gets knocked way in. I don't think there's any way the Chromie survives here, and I'm right, because she dies. Out comes the Mighty Gust to keep Be Fresh alive, but the diminutive Pseudo-Dragon will be sent back to the Hall of Storms to think about her choices.
Yeah, she did have timeout, but I think she's smart not using it there, or he, as the case may be. Um, Simply because you might need it for something more important later. I think a timeout there would have just been delaying the inevitable.
I use character gender a lot as well. I think that's a-okay, in my personal opinion. I sometimes use player gender, sometimes use character gender. It's just you do your best.
I tend to use character gender way more than I use player gender. Half the time I don't know the genders of the people I'm casting, so.
That's true. So middle is almost down, and they are going to try and do battle for it. All the ults are up except for Riptire and Mighty Gust, which will both be up momentarily here.
Don't
Both teams looking to clear here.
fight, honestly. I don't think you gain much, even if you win.
If you're
they're both backing off.
If you're Cats on my keyboard, you don't gain anything if you win. If you're Zildjian Distillery, you can take the mid. Led just barely gets it in, but here he's going to try and do it over the Apocalypse. The bunker comes out. Once again, it does very little. The Mighty Gust does knock Apple back, but Line Bus is not targeted well enough. The Blessed Shield will come out. It doesn't manage to catch him, but this fight is so split. Apple's incredibly low in the top. Ghost out duels. Be Fresh on the fall side. Out comes Riptire. That's huge damage. Malthiel will go down as well. It's a 2-0 so far. That's a timeout on Chromie, but now she has to go take a timeout back here. That's the Hall of Storms. Meanwhile, the spell shield minion has come up to the gate. It will go down, but this will be a free gate for the members of Cats on my keyboard, who had a little blip in their momentum there, but just took a 3-0 and about a half level, or almost a full level lead here. And that's so important because the next talent tier is 20.
Well, Chromie will get her talent a bit before the rest of her team does. But yeah, that was very. I mean, it was good on the part of Cats on my keyboard, but there was also a lot of luck there too. I saw Last Rites go out on Apple, and she had just enough heals to save that because she had already used Aegis earlier in the fight. There was a little bit of a miscommunication with Aegis and Bunker, so they had used a lot of their defenses, but ended up not needing them. They do get another turn in though. This could be another keep.
This could even be both keeps. If the macro pressure they apply is hard enough. Now, it does look like they're focusing on pushing in bottom. Meanwhile, Zildjian Distillery wants to push this out as far as possible to see if they can defend one of their keeps, but it's too late. They're going to leave Nutcracker. No, they're going to leave everyone and just DeWitt bottom. They've already proven they can blow up DeWitt very quickly. This seems risky. Falstad will come down as well. It's only about a half level to 20 for Cats on my keyboard. This needs to be very carefully considered by the members of Zildjian Distillery. They did manage to completely clear the top lane. There's the Polymorph, and the Riptire hits nothing. A big Mighty Gust. The bunker will come down. So will the Iron Skin. The Crystal Aegis comes out as well. That's all the ultimates used defensively. A great stun there, though, from Line Bust. They will kill Chromie. Led super low. Manages to blink away, but is being targeted by Ghost. Has 300 hit points up as there are 2 Web Weavers on the core. A great stun there from Linebus. Misses the flamethrower, though, onto Led, who will get back to the Hollow Storm. Shield is off of core, and now it is down to 90%. DeWitt being forced back by PJ Red. Led just trying to find a way, but will get caught and killed as well. And once again, it is looking. 20s are here. Shield of Hope. Farflight Quiver. This is going to be it. They kill Malthiel. Ghost finally goes down, but it hardly matters. DeWitt was stunned for a moment, is trying to find a way to help the team, but he's the only member left. And game number 2 will also go to Cats on my keyboard, as they have a 2-0 series lead.
That was a clinic from Apple on the Oriole as to why you want to pick Oriole, or alternatively why you want to ban her. They had a lot of finishing type moves that were foiled by Aegis almost every single time.
I actually think you have to take Linebus off this Blaze at this point. PJ Red looks like he can play anything. Linebus has played Blaze twice and has hit 3- and 4-man jet propulsions in the end game consistently. And when you land it on Lead, most of the time, yeah, he doesn't have a chance to use the AoE cleanse. So that looked rough. And once again, Ghost is a solid 23,000 damage ahead of Chromie. They keep him so safe. He positions so well. And that's a 2-0 lead for the number 8 seed, which has got to be super hype, super encouraging. It's got to be a little perplexing for our friends from Zul'jin Distillery. So we do see a kind of, again, a bit of a hybrid trap build here from IT Cowboy. Fairly standard build from Johanna. Not the cooldown for Blaze here, but the Juggernaut plating is no problem. Normal Ariel build, although she did take Energized Cord, which is a bit unusual. And the auto build from Ghost. Brightwing is pretty standard. This is a bit of an unusual, the reduced healing Malthael. I'm not sure I'm nutty about it, but that's more of a personal preference thing.
I mean, going into an Oriole, it does make sense.
You roboted a little bit there, Hoku, so just FYI, I don't know if that's my side or your side. We do see that game number 3 is coming out, though. It didn't pull you in, though. Oh, there you are. So, we got Towers of Doom.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm roboting. I'm checking to see if Windows is doing something nasty in the background.
Looks like you've come back into this one here. This time, oh, no, once again, cats on my keyboard get to choose the map. Now, this is it. Chriso in the NGS chat. 3 straight map picks for cats on my keyboard, and so far, 2 wins. Zul'jin Distillery is really putting all their eggs in the first pick basket. This is brave, but I guess if you have a strategy, you don't just ditch it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they change up anything here. This map plays very differently from the other 2. The cats on my keyboard have been very strong in the 4-man fights and 5-man fights. And the bottom line in this is all about the 5-man fighting, or the 4-man fighting. So I'd be interested to see how Zul'jin Distillery approaches this one to try to avoid getting blown up like that. I mean, they had the fall stat last time, which definitely helped. They just got too far behind too early.
It has been wild, and what Chriso is saying in NGS chat is also wild. Cats much better than dogs. This is nonsense! Somebody find Chriso, and you just tell him how rude he's being to our canid companions. So, Hoku and Ohmster Divsy finals 8th seed. What an exciting night. Guccifer? I don't know. You have a great and hard to pronounce name, and this has been heckin' good. I was gonna say hella, but I used the word heck, and then I was like, I can't say heck, like hecka good. Heckin' good? Anyway, it's a night. We have Hoku, we have an 8 seed 2-0 over 1 seed, and we get to go to Towers of Doom, where it is never over until Stitches sings.
So is this going to be a domination? Is this going to be a reverse sweep? Or is this going to be a 2-2 take the 5th map to, I don't know, Broxus?
Well, buckle your seatbelts, because we're about to find out what this is about to be. I just realized I was on Game Summary instead of, oh my god, Gucci fur. Oh my word, instead of, not draft, Bo5 screen, because I have the attention span of a gnat, and Chrisa was saying disgusting things in chat. Cats much better than dogs. What is this nonsense? Anyway, pretend I'm a competent caster, guys. We're going into game number 3. Will it be a domination? That would be bonkers. Zul'jin Distillery has looked good, so good all season. They've been so clean. They've been so strong. I just can't believe they're going to totally fall apart. I know mental is a huge side of the game. This is a tough team. This is a good team. I think they bring us to Game 4. I'm going to call it right now. I don't have any skin in the game. None of these people are my close personal friends. I don't see Zul'jin Distillery letting it end like this for this season.
So I do like the Vala ban. I do think that's a good adjustment. The Vala basically did whatever she liked. And, they do play very strong frontline heroes. PJ Red is known for playing very beefy, aggressive tanks, which makes for a very safe Vala. I do like the Dahaka ban, because Dahaka is a menace on this map.
I wonder if we do something weird like the first pick Blaze here. Get it out of Linebus's hands. No, it will once again be led on the Brightwing. I think Linebus just locks Blaze here. I think last time, they went Blaze and Vala. I think you go either Chromie or Hanzo and Blaze. You just lock it in and say, beat us at what we're already good at. There's the Blaze. Do we see Ghost's hero come out now? Hanzo is very good on this map, and he was amazing on it on Game 1. Does it come out again, or will they let him pick later in the draft? It will be the Johanna.
Nope, it's a Joe.
And what a tremendous front line. All Ghost needs is a strong, beefy front line. He's got it.
Yep.
We'll see what changes we see. Again, Chromie is very strong here, but it didn't look like Ankle Shot was super comfortable on it last game. For whatever reason. I'm not saying they're bad at the character. Just last game, I don't think they had their best game on it. I wonder if they're going to try it again. No, they don't pick tank or offlane at all. It is immediately... Now, I will say, these two characters, actually these three characters so far, none of them are great at full range, long range stall. They want to take big fights and win them. That is their goal this game. It's not to stall, it's not to mess around, it's blow people up.
I wouldn't be surprised to see either the Garrosh or possibly even a Stitches with that.
Well, we'll see what ban comes out from Cats on my keyboard. They won't allow Malthael to come through. So once again, putting a tight choke on Nutcracker. The final ban to come out. I wonder if they put a choke on Healer. Again, I feel like there's too many characters for... No, they get the Hanzo out for Ghost here.
No more noodles. We are an anti-noodle team.
We're an anti-which team, sorry?
Anti-noodles.
No
noodle
noodles.
dragons.
Well, they could still pick Stukov and get some noodles.
They've got the Junkrat again, which is annoying as heck.
Oh.
And the Stukov.
I would be pressing Alt F4 on install if I were Zul'jin Distillery right now. I do not want my playoff life to be decided by Junkrat Stukov. Ugh.
The only thing is they don't have a cleanse, though, unless Joe is forced to go with the Falling Sword as opposed to a Blessed Shield. So they might try to pick something. Yep, there's the Stitches. I was going to say they might go Stitches because Stukov likes to stay in the channel, and Stitches loves people who stay in the channel.
There is Zool. So I only ever see Zool on this map, and it's because his double soaking is very strong, but his gank ability is very high. But on this map, you rarely see the 4-man leave bot lane, and if they do, you just know to back up. So Zool is kind of uniquely fits into the meta of the way this map is played. But we have a final pick here. It is the flex pick for Ghost. Both the characters he's played so far are gone. He's taking the Worgen. Greymane has come. So go ahead.
Interesting. I was going to say, so looking at these two teams, what do you think of these drafts?
I think Ghost is going to have to play an entirely different playstyle than what he's played before, but the pieces in place make that very possible. I think the burden of execution is actually on Zul'jin Distillery here. They have to make perfect use of the Stitches if they want this to go to Game 4. That's my read. I could be wrong, but once you pick Stitches into your draft, it is a dichotomous play style. Either you hit hooks and outnumber the enemy team, or you miss hooks or hook the wrong target and your team dies. There's not really a middle ground, I find, when Stitches is in your draft. This has to be played perfectly, or it will be the end of the series already for our #1 seed in Div C. This time, the blue team, well, this time still the blue team, is Zul'jin Distillery. Be Fresh is on Tychus, Lead is on Tiny Deathwing, Ankle Shot is a robot, Nutcracker is a weird mummy guy, and Roadhog is DeWitt. This is Zul'jin Distillery on the red.
And in the red trunks, over on the right-hand side, for Cats My Keyboard, we have IT Cowboy playing the Junkrat, the Line Bus back on the Blaze, Ghost playing Greymane, PG Red on Johanna, and Apple playing the Stukov.
5v5 in the mid lane here, and now you do have to assume, despite their toughness as a team, that Zul'jin Distillery is... They're just thinking of what they can do to hold on to their playoff life. We've played all season for this. They earned that first place seed. How do they get back to the form that put them at the top of this division?
So interestingly enough, Stitches did go the Patchwork Creation at level 1. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Bile, especially with the Greymane around. I think that could make it difficult for Greymane to go in and do what Greymane do best.
I do think Hook Gorge on Stukov and Greymane is very strong, but I do think... Oh, man, I think it really depends on what the game looks like up to that point. I think if you're behind, you have to go Gorge because you need the picks to win a game. I think if you're even or ahead, Bile is definitely worth considering. So
interestingly enough, there's a little bit of anti-synergy between the Junkrat and the Stukov so far. Stukov puts the puddle down, and Junkrat boops everybody out of it. Hopefully they'll get that cleaned up a little bit.
So level 1 builds, all fairly standard. We've got tricky shuffles for the movement speed for the Junkrat, Adrenaline Stim Pack, Viciousness, Flashlight, and Low Blow. And we got the Patchwork Quarterback Psi Infusion, so the W Mana Return build for Ankle Shots, Tassadar, Shade, which evades all basic attack, but a slightly longer cooldown on that block, which can be helpful against, very helpful against something like Greymane that relies heavily for autos for damage output. There's a good wall. It will lock out PJ Red, but Ghost is just doing a good job at keeping his, what is it, Beast Soul? Inner Beast active at the moment, so... Just shooting whoever you can.
So I do like the Electric Sense pick from Tassadar here at level 4. That slow will also make it difficult for the Greymane to engage, especially since it looks like Greymane is going the Wolf build as opposed to going the Cocktail build. And that's a dead Junkrat.
And so it is. IT Cowboy goes down, and it looks like Zul'jin Distillery. It is spelled with the X on Zool. Nutcracker looking to get away. A great phase shift there from Lead. Keeps the Zool alive. And he just needs to get his alcohol going. He needs to get his gin distillery moving, and they'll be ready to go. This is the secret tech they've been holding under their hats this whole time. Go down 2 games, start playing Zool, win every game. That's... I mean, I can't say it'll work, but I have to assume that's the thought process.
Well, I mean, we do have Cats playing a dog, which does seem like it's a little counterproductive.
Cats on my keyboard did draft only 1 puppy, though. They didn't go for puppy butt bite, so... Now, they are doing some work. Does this increase your cast range? I don't think so.
We've got the offlaners coming in for the big fight over the middle altar. This should get spicy pretty quickly.
I actually didn't realize that the Psi Infusion increases the range of Psychic Storm by 1/3. That's actually quite powerful for this map.
Yep.
So it is 5v5 here. The top laners have... There's the hook onto Apple, and out comes the fence. Excellently done. Apple's taking a ton of damage so far. Ghost has jumped onto Nutcracker. Oh, Line Bus just misses the jet propulsion. B-Fresh is knocked away. We've got to zoom in to keep this fight in range. A great static shock, but Apple stays alive as IT Cowboy also runs. He grabs the what a hook, and IT Cowboy is dead once again. There is the wall. PJ Red is isolated. Apple can't really afford to save Johanna until she gets around on the bottom here. And Zul'jin Distillery is playing like their lives are on the line, because they are. DeWitt steps up. He is in a little far. There's the silence. Lead cannot do hyper shift now. The face it is 5 versus 3. They're gonna get on the point. There is the burn onto PJ Red from the trait of the Tychus. All 5 are here. 4 have come down, but Line Bus is still on the way. The puddle will kill the Zool. They will get their camp. Stukov is killed in return, but Ankle Shot is taking a ton of damage from Ghost. Ghost now jumping. Tychus is killed in the top by Blaze, and it is a 2-4-1 at the end of the day. And that's one of the weaknesses of
Yeah, that was
Stitches. You can't step up when
yeah,
you
that
don't
was a
have your
little
crowd control.
that was a bit of a cheeky invade. And so now they will get invaded in return. There's nothing they can do to stop this. They'll just have to clear it. Fortunately, both Tychus and Tassadar are good at clearing things.
Now, they do still have the lead, not in experience, but in shots on core. Lead will get caught here. Does not yet have the blink heal, but can safely walk through. I think Linebus might have lit his oil on fire a little early there. Otherwise, Brightwing may have been a little more slow, but that's A-okay. They are together as for here. IT Cowboy throw is a trap in the bush. I don't know if he knew that Stitches was there, but DeWitt may be looking. No, he's just looking to defend at this point. Is not looking. Well, turns me into a liar. There out comes the flashlight. Apple does look like he'll go for the... No, Cowboy will be the one trying to tear. DeWitt tries to walk in. Out comes another great shockwave. It will be the full channel from IT Cowboy. And now it is a 5v5. Both teams just looking to get out, so there's nothing for... Another grab on the IT Cowboy. These hooks have been disgusting. And Junkrat has got to feel so betrayed by his chunky compatriot, hooking him again, again, and again. 4
So
kills,
the
I
boss
believe
isn't
3 of them are on
vital.
IT Cowboy. Sorry, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, we see a boss play. The boss isn't vital on this, but it's always nice to take those 4 shots off the map if you have some spare time.
And it will
I
give them an
kind of
8-shot
would've
lead
preferred-
as opposed to a 4-shot
Yeah,
lead.
but I would have
Go ahead.
preferred to see more of a push when you had the kills. Because now they're going to go take the entire front wall of the bottom, which is way more important than the 4 shots of the boss.
If they can
So,
get some kills
what
here,
happens here?
it could be worth it. That was almost felt like insurance in case... Oh my goodness, that is disgusting. We saw the cursed bullet come out and the Tassadar go down. There is a melee gorge onto Apple, and the laser cannon is down. So it will not be Odin this map. Ooh, the... Oh my god, everyone took the weird alt this time. What the heck? We've got Gorge, Draken Laser Drill, Black Hole, Skeletal Mages, and Blink Heal. Zool is coming down. They grab PJ Red. Oh my goodness. Now all I can think is CD Projekt Red. Thanks a lot, PJ Red. Apple has taken a fair amount of damage. Does get the big heal pop there if the hook hit anybody, but it doesn't. We also see Blink Heal. On the other side, we have Rocket Ride instead of Riptire, Bunker Drop, Cursed Bullet, Blessed Shield, and the Flailing Swipe. No massive shoves today.
So that is one drawback to Stitches, is he doesn't have a lot of peel. He went in hard to try to pick up the Stukov with his Gorge, which meant that the Grey Mane knew he was free to do whatever he
Another
liked.
fantastic Cursed Bullet, and Stitches will go down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what a Blink Heal, though, to dodge that. But it is 5v4. They don't have a lot of opportunity to delay this. And they are 8 shots ahead. So they need to just give this over and make a push somewhere. But because of that death, it does mean Ghost and the rest of the team can jump onto this camp and possibly siege down the bottom fort. Ankle Shot does want to come out here, try to defend this. If he's not careful, though, being a condemn from PJ Red could cost Tassadar his life. And we'll be saying Antara Wadun before you know it. A wall there is interesting, but it actually doesn't stop them. I didn't know that happened like that, but now I know it does nothing. Rocket Ride will come out, and yeah, they're just going to put it right on the board. This is a great siege tool, and the bombs will do even more damage. So, at, 3,000 out of 15,000, about 1/5 of its health, that is a very easy target the next time they even get a single kill. And Cats on my keyboard are once again... did they just save all their good plays for the playoffs? Like, did they just kind of muff it all season so they could come out hard? There's the Cursed Bullet again. Now, they will Gorge. He gorged it, but the Gorge into the puddle means that D-Wood is really a great disengage from the Black Hole, and that's exactly what it's needed for. The Draken Laser Drill will come out as Nutcracker jumps onto Apple in the backline. They will kill Ghost, and that Grey Mane has been their biggest problem. Apple trying to survive with the roundabout route. But Stukov will die as Apple commits honorable Sudoku, to quote Kaldor. I hate quoting Kaldor. Just hope both teams have fun. Man, I hope they do too, but we like to see longer sets because that means more Heroes of the Storm. but I'm a nerd. All right, in the top,
So if
we.
they can get this altar down for the bell towers, and the bell tower down for the silver spot, that
I'm
would be
so
lovely.
sorry, you're a
But
full
they
robot right
can't
now,
turn
Hoku,
to
and
the
I
best
can't.
anti-heroes.
We can't tell what you said, my good Hoku, but Brightwing is on the bottom taking, so that's one set of shots to them. PJ, we're taking a ton of damage and has to pop the iron since they don't got. But once again, Greymane is in the bush, and that's a huge bunch of damage onto DeWitt from the cursed bullet. The huge puddle will come out. Out is going to come the bomb. It just misses Zool, though, and the black hole will disengage. That's the end of PJ Red. That's a 2 for nothing so far, and they will gorge the Greymane. Pinging here, he's going to do a ton of damage. He could kill both of them here, but Lead gets here just in time, and it's going to be another 3 for 0. Zul'jin Distillery ain't done yet. Are you back, Hoku? It doesn't sound like it, so well, just wait on the Hoku technical difficulties, guys, but this is just a mind-blowing Game 3 so far in the playoffs. But DeWitt does get blasted over the ball. That, I don't fully... Oh! A big save from Lead and the teleport out. MVP Lead on that play. Welcome back, Hoku.
Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on with my connection. Am I still a robot?
It's off and on. I can't tell you. Yeah, it says my connection to you is poor, but I don't know whose side that's on, unfortunately, when I check that. But both sides will get their own camps here fairly safely. DeWitt is looking here, but... Oh, he gets high T Cowboy again as Johanna dodges out of the way. DeWitt is taking a ton out. Another fantastic black hole, and they're saving this for every time the cursed bullet comes out. And the speed bonus. No one will die from this. B-Fresh takes a ton of damage. There's the hook on the line bus. The bunker will come out. PJ Red, but the wall will make it hard for his team to help him. The jet propulsion will get him out at the moment. And in the top, Zool took the camp and is pushing into the top fort here. Remember, the bottom fort is super low, though, for Zul'jin Distillery. Out will come the exercise puddle. A good sidestep there on the cursed bullet for Roadhog. And for now, both teams will take a breath.
Most of that was a 4v5. Zool was top the entire time. So...
Sorry, if you guys hear the sound from the game cut out for just a second, it's because I'm checking to see if I can fix mine Hoku's connection. But we do have a 4v4 here. Blaze and Zool immediately take theirs in the top. IT Cowboy looking... No, he was going to go for the pickup here, but instead they do manage to... Out comes the black hole, but Apple is channeling right now. Now with a big lead, that's not what matters. They want to get the kills here from the side of Zul'jin Distillery. There's a hook onto IT Cowboy again. Out will come the Blessed Shield, but it's not going to be enough to get a kill. And no, Apple didn't actually get this. Oh my goodness, DeWitt is so low. The cap here. Apple is low as well. Out will come the silence. And a fantastic hook. Apple will die. Ghost trying to get all the damage it can in the back. Gets Apple shot low, but it will not be enough. DeWitt is incredibly low. Out comes the jet propulsion. DeWitt will take a ton of damage, and you have to assume Ghost will come back. There's the auto. Ankle shot goes down. There goes the Stitches as well. It looks like Lead. Oh, he's outplaying big time, but it looks like Ghost will still kill the Fruit Fly. It is a 4 for nothing, and it is about to be a 5 for nothing as Nutcracker gets killed as... Oh, dodges the jet propulsion, but the stagger... IT Cowboy walks back in and is killed by the Draken Laser Drill. So they will get this bottom fort for their troubles. It is a 5 for 2. But a big lead in shots for the members of Zul'jin Distillery, up 24-8. Boss is back up. Now, their closest heroes will be back shortly. It doesn't look like, with 2 members missing, it doesn't look like Cats on my Keyboard is willing to go for the boss at the moment. Thanks for the follow, Northern Touch.
I get more value out of getting both of those camps, though, because that forces the blue team to defend. They can't get those camps themselves, and now when they are defending, they can go take the boss kind of at their leisure.
When you are the one playing tank, that of the cursed bullet is terrifying. But another good sidestep there from DeWitt, and they do manage to clear out these pumpkins. Now, I think it might have been a little more beneficial to hold on that camp for a second, get yours, and then cap them both at the same time. So there's no way Zul'jin Distillery is actually going to walk into this part of the jungle without the bottom fort. That's just a death sentence. But Zool and Blaze are doing Zool and Blazing. It is a full level lead despite their shot disadvantage for Cats on Keyboard. The Curse Bullet will come out and do a big chunk to DeWitt as there's only one altar spawning and it is in the bottom lane. Blaze will come to support this defense as the fort is at about 55%. Zool will continue to push into the top, which is also very low. Apple is the one back capping. Ghost and IT Cowboy doing a good job here. DeWitt looking for the correct angle for a hook here. B-Fresh does get knocked forward. There is the heal and the cleanse from lead. The hook comes out. It will miss IT Cowboy as Blaze has gone back top to defend his fort. Thanks for the following, Threadsalt. Appreciate you guys. Anyway, so this is pretty standard meta for this map. Once you get one of the bottom, a huge long hook there, but it just misses. 20s are going to come up soon. DeWitt has to try to find something to get his team not behind here. They're just going to go all in on the bottom fort, and they will get it, and that will be a back out. On the flip side, Cats on My Keyboard does not want to fight until they get that last bit of experience that gets them in 20 and gives them that heroic talent here. There are 2 altars coming up, plus a boss. The one thing Cats on My Keyboard cannot allow is a team fight loss here at 20. But there's a fantastic Curse Bullet. Ankle shot's incredibly low, and it's being chased. Oh, Lead almost goes down, has 100 hit points. Ghost is going to look at the Fruit Fly. The Blessed Shield will come out in the bottom. Lead does manage to survive. Ankle shot incredibly low. They almost get PJ Red, but a route onto B-Fresh means that the tank will survive. Alder's activating in 30 seconds as Zool comes down as well. Both teams are at 20. We've got Cannonball, Burn Notice, Hunter's Blunderbuss, Radiating Faith, and Top Off. On the side, we do have Forest Barrier, Mortal Wound on the Scythe build Zool. We've got Invisible Friends, Hungry Stitches, which is a win condition. Hungry Stitches is a win condition on this kind of map. So, DeWitt takes a ton of damage, and there comes the locked up with the Iron Skin. The Black Hole come up from an angle, but that means Ankle Shot is taking a ton of damage here from the DPS of Cats on My Keyboard. The Bunker will come out. The Skeletal Mages are in the back. DeWitt is taking so much damage. The Silence Puddle does so much damage here. That will be the end of Zool. DeWitt looks for the fadeaway hook. Does not hit it. Ghost takes a lot of damage. Line Bus is going to rotate up and take this middle altar. That is both altars for the side of Cats on My Keyboard, and they will stay alive in this game so far. It is 11-8.
I don't think they want to.
There's the hook onto IT Cowboy, and there's the fence. That's the end of the Junkrat, and he's going, mate, why do you keep grabbing me over the wall, mate? Road Dog, I thought we were brothers, or something. There's the Hungry Stitches is going to get everybody. Here comes the blat blat blat. And the Vomiting Stitches will take a lot of damage. Out comes the big fence. They're going to do a ton of damage. There goes Stukov. There goes Brightwing. DeWitt taking a ton of damage. PJ Red also taking a lot of damage. The Draken Laser Drill is doing work as the Pumpkins attempt to murder the Stitches. PJ Red will go down to the Draken Laser Drill, and that is a 3 for 2. And finally, in the late game, a fight goes the way of Zul'jin Distillery. Now the question is, are they brave enough to go for boss here with these long death timers? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that was, well, they don't have their healer, which is a little rough. And that was without Zool. They did that. I guess they are going to go for boss.
They are looking at it. They will have very fast, with all of their damage used up, B-Fresh taking unnecessary damage here. He needs to be careful about that. Nutcracker, I think the head will come onto, it goes onto Tassadar. They will get it though, and there will be no contesting this, and this makes things incredibly dangerous. There's only one altar this time, but no matter what they do, they can't kill with it on the side of Cats on My Keyboard. On the other hand, if they lose this fight, it's over for them in game 3. If they want the clean domination here, they have to defend this altar. On the other hand, I mean, why not go for it, I guess, is there... If I'm them, my mindset is I'm going to fight like it's the only thing that matters. Like, even if you lose the game, who cares? There is... Oh, there's the Eat on Stitches. Just claim the altar, guys. They're going to try and kill him here. IT Cowboy is going to go for the cap here. The Flailing Swipe will knock everyone back. And, yeah, they just send someone back, cap it. It's no big problem. Chris Bullet comes out and hits DeWitt. It is now 7-4. A number of win conditions open up when the cores are this low. And it looks like
Looking at
everybody
the
wants to hang out as 5.
trap.
The Chinese party bush is coming out. They're going to go for this middle fort. This is where you want a Falstad to just blow them all in. But here comes the rocket ride. Completely unnecessary. But, you know, it made IT Cowboy happy. So, GG. A huge wave is going to push into the top fort here. I think they can clear it in time, but yeah.
Keep. If I were Zildjian Distillery, I'd go just take out that bottom keep and call it
They've
good.
wasted so much time sitting here looking at their mid fort. Now, both these teams are making interesting priority decisions. Yeah, I think Nutcracker's got it right here. They're going to try and take back this one. Yeah. The minions get that. They're going to get this. Yeah. They're looking to defend, but again, if I am Zildjian Distillery, I don't even go for the defense here. I try to hook someone, get the kill, and end the game as the altars come up. But the Iron Skin comes out. No one will get hooked here. Invisible Friends and the Speed Up come out. Their Hungry Stitches is started. He gets 1. He gets 2. He's got the Greymane, and that is their main priority. Ghost is taking a ton of damage, and he's killed by the Shockray. PJ Red is low. He's killed as well. And the Bunker is going to come out for Blaze Line Bus. He's got to try and stay alive. IT Cowboy blows everyone away to try to save Line Bus. Will it be enough? Out comes, and the disruption there from the grenade. The hook will miss, though, and for now, Line Bus will stay alive, but the fence will come out. Line Bus is still taking a ton of damage. He's going low, and the spread volley will keep him alive for now, but they're going to lose. Led is going to capture this, and this is going to be game over. Game 3 is going to go to Zildjian Distillery, and we're going to game number 4.
That was a classic Towers of Doom.
I'm not sweating. You're sweating. Whew.
Wowzer.
And we did kind of see here, Ghost is an excellent player. I've appreciated his plays at but on a character that has to go in, it just did not go as well. And this time, Refresh's Tychus got to look really good. He's the highest damage this time. Now, Linebuzz didn't die at all, so props to our New Zealander. But I couldn't even tell you what necessarily went. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think what the difference was is Stitches was just landing hooks on poor IT Cowboy, and Junkrat just doesn't have the HP to live. If he gets hooked, he dies, and he died 5 times.
So game number 3, finally the first pick will go over to the advantage of first pick goes over to Zildjian Distillery, and now we have a series. It's 2-1 in a best of 5, and we have got everything to play for. If you'd like to see talents here, guys, we've got a fairly standard Stitches set here. Master Assassin without Odin is a bit interesting, but I actually think the Draken Laser Drill did work in pressuring people around, so I think this was actually quite an inspired pick from B-Fresh. The Black Hole also saved the mid-game. I think without Black Hole, they lose this game. There was a number of hard engages that came after Stitches Gorge that they lose if Tassadar doesn't knock everyone back. So that was brilliantly played by Ankle Shot. Scythe build from Zool. We had pretty standard Q build from Junkrat. Blaze looked good. Again, is Ghost the usual player on this team? Because he feels like he's a little bit like... It feels like they brought in a ringer here.
Ghost is... Yeah, Ghost is one of the founding... Yeah,
he is fantastic.
He's one of the cornerstones of that team.
Ordinary Johanna build, and a bit of a top-off with a low blow build here from our Stukov. But let's go back to the map view B of 5, and like we actually mean it this time. Where do you think we'll go for game number 4, Hoku? Starting to run out of maps.
What were the map bans? I wasn't around for that.
Volskaya and Garden for Zildjian Distillery, and Braxis and Cursed. So we still have BOE, we still have Sky Temple, we still have Cursed Hollow.
Yep. So Cursed Hollow, BOE, we still have
Alterac Pass.
Dragonshire. I would like to see Dragonshire. Yeah, that would be a great map for.
So I think those are all the ones. Alterac is left, BOE is left, Dragonshire. Haha, Hanamura, you don't count.
I like Hanamura. You could play our tennis on that map.
But it's Hanamura. You'd have to play him on Hanamura, so.
which is fun. More
uh,
fun than say Warhead Junction.
yeah, but that's like saying having a colonoscopy is better than having an injection straight into your urethra. Like, yeah, it's better, but is it good?
Well, I mean,
Guys, diabetes is way better to have than cancer. I mean, yes,
uh,
but you still have diabetes.
uh,
I'm not great at these particular analogies, but I really don't like either of those maps. I feel like Hanamura is just it's too
I
small
don't
to
know
be
where
fun
this.
almost.
I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't find Hanamura fun. It's too small. It's just the rotations are really annoying on it. And then Warhead is honestly one of the worst things Blizzard has ever done outside of their in-company nonsense, which we're not going to get into because that's a whole nother discussion. But I really liked Warhead Junction for about 3 weeks after it came out. And then I started playing like more with teams, like competitive. Like when you're just the idiot never pays attention split push offlaner, that's the best map in the whole pool. But otherwise,
So
oof.
the interesting thing about maps like Hanamura, Warhead Junction, and even Blackheart's Bay, which you'll never see outside of Quick Match, is they really force you to play differently, and a lot of people don't want to play differently. They want to draft their favorite hero, build it the same way, and play it the same way. So if you either have a weird hero pool or Vikings, things like that, or if you are comfortable flexing to a really weird setup, um, those maps can be a lot of fun. Oh, and we are going to Dragonshire. Excellent. I love this map.
Let us pop out of here and try casting lobby, because this has you've gone full robot on me again. I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but let's pop into a casting lobby and see if we can fix this.
Hello.
Hello. All right. So, Dragonshire, a map similar in a weird way. It's close to Towers of Doom in terms of it's all about resource allocation. So, Zul'jin Distillery chose this map, which means, oops, um, first pick will go over to Cats on my keyboard. This will be the first draft we see that looks like that.
So this will be interesting because with Cats on my keyboard having first pick, are they going to prioritize banning out Nutcracker again, or are they going to look to ban out globals? Because we know Lead does play a very, very potent Brightwing. This is something that could be. This is a map that favors a very different style of draft than either of the three that we have seen so far. So
I actually have to make a very quick phone call. I'm going to hand the draft over to you for a moment here, Hoku, and
alrighty.
enjoy telling our people what they need to hear.
Okay, so here we go into draft. Like I said, this is a map that favors globals. This is a map that favors anchors like a Junkrat or a Chromie, we might see those banned out as well. But with the first pick, Cats on my keyboard is going to choose to get rid of, I'm guessing the Dahaka. Nope, it's the Leo. So they're probably going to go the same bans again. Leo is strong on this map because he can stand on the point kind of indefinitely, and he does have good wave clear. Zul'jin Distillery chooses to answer by banning out the Junkrat. Yep, this is a map where you definitely don't want to go into that. He basically sits there and says, "Oh, you want this point? Come and take it." And the Brightwing, as expected, Lead was very solid on that Brightwing, and she totally makes the top lane a 2v1 instantaneously. She has zero respect for the 1v1 in the top lane. And let's see if we ban out the Dahaka or if we think we can first pick it. Oh, we are going to ban the Anduin, so if they choose not to pick the Dahaka, I fully expect to see Nutcracker take that. So what do we want to prioritize here? The Dahaka. Good. Yep, Dahaka is just fantastic on this map, and this time we see IT Cowboy taking the Dahaka, so that means we may see Line Bus flex onto a damage dealer. And the blue team is going to respond with, I'm guessing, a healer of some sort. Maybe Vala.
I have returned, yes.
Alto and Vala.
Not to
All
get...
right, so...
Oh, sorry. Not to get too much into the TMI, but I always call my girlfriend in the evening, and Concept had said it was going to be a quick 3-0, so we were expecting to speak quite a bit earlier than this, so I was trying not to be the absentee boyfriend, so there's the
Gotcha.
Ultra Lore guys. All right,
So B-Fresh did get the Vala, and IT Cowboy is on the Dahaka, so we'll see Line Bus flex to a Chromie.
And I think New Zealanders like Chromie because she's short, she's got green eyes like a Kiwi, and, you know, she just seems like she'd be a down under kind of gal, you know?
You're really trying to push that analogy there.
It made sense for a moment, and then it suddenly did. I don't know, she's got really green eyes. I mean, her eyes look like when you cut a Kiwi in half right now. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. And so we are going to ban out the Stukov because a Stukov with a Chromie and a Diablo would just be a lot of no thank you. And I expect to see a healer banned out here. Maybe the Oriole. Because Vala is a very good battery for an Oriole.
She is, and Dragonshire is a decent map, although Brightwing is very good, which is why... Oh, the Falstad maps. There will not be a ordinary global, but we still have things like ETC or even weirdly... Oh, no, there's a Malthael, so we won't see something like an Illidan, but...
Oh, you could still see a 4-man Illidan. Or they could do a 1 with 3. I don't expect to see that, but it's doable.
Alaka Kaloha was looking for a 3-0. Well... My relationship wished it was a 3-0, but my caster brain is thrilled we're going for, and part of me hopes 5. If any of you are East Coasters who have work tomorrow, call in sick.
So this is interesting. They did pick a Kael'thas. Kael'thas is a very strong hero, but he needs to be close. Diablo loves squishies who want to be close, and Chromie can just nuke from a distance.
Well, and Chromie gives you Tri-Brush Vision, which neither Kael'thas nor Vala do, and they get the Ariel. Now, there is no cleanse here, and that could be relevant. Ghost is going to try the Greymane again. I do think Diablo Greymane, until he gets Mana Addict, that Kael'thas is going to have to be on a very short leash.
Although they do have a Rhaegar, and with a totem build, he can really put kind of a crimpy Greymane style.
Garrosh is available, and the flip into the Gravity Lapse could make Diablo's day tough, and there it is! The Garrosh comes out. Hey, Saddlebird, how you doing? This is game number 4. Cats on my keyboard want to shut this down. They do not want to give the reverse sweep any momentum, but Zul'jin Distillery has got to feel good after wresting control of this series back in game number 3. Let's see what game number 4 has to give us. Your Koala, your CoCaste captain. Oh, snap, what are you doing not playing in the playoffs, Koala? Also, that's A-okay. I'm not trying to shame or anything. I'm just like, hot dang. I've actually seen a fair number of captains who don't end up being on their players' rosters for casts, and I'm in my head, I'm like, but why why captain not on team?
So one thing I do like about that Garrosh pick this time is they don't have the same kind of blow they did before, although Cursed Bullet is going to be scary. But one thing that often people forget is Garrosh can also throw people away from his team. So if the Greymane comes in, Garrosh can just say, go away.
He's also not into a Brightwing this time, which does matter. You stop playing Hots when you're pregnant and Lime subs for you. Well, that's really nice of Lime to help you out like that. And congratulations, Koala. You want to do the blue team this time? It's your turn.
I shall do the blue team. We have DeWitt playing the Garrosh, B-Fresh playing the Vala, Ankle Shot playing the Kael'thas, Shalanore. Nutcracker on the ball fail, and Led playing the Rhaegar.
On the red team, about to get it aggressive, we've got PJ Red playing the bulky Diablo. IT Cowboy on the spiky Zerg Dinosaur. Linebus is on Chromie. Apple is on Oriel. And Ghost is playing Greymane. He likes alliteration. So
That
now
was
that you've
a
learned
lot
the
of
koala
buttons
lore,
pressed.
everybody. Sorry?
There was an awful lot of buttons pressed. DeWitt basically kind of played ping pong with himself as he was thrown and whipped and tossed and things, but
Now, on a
fortunately,
pale
he
horse
came out of
is
it.
Malthael's choice this time. That is going to be very annoying for Dahaka to deal with, actually. Because his clear speed isn't quite as quick, and he cannot step out to a Malthael. Malthael absolutely outduels the Dahaka in lane. And if he keeps you away from the wave, you can't even get your trait healing. So Malthael's a little bit annoying for Dahaka to deal with. We do see the Fire at Will from Vala again, the Warbreaker, so the Groundbreaker stacks from Garrosh, Mana Addict, and they are going to be prioritizing those globes on a Pale Horse and Colossal Totem. On Torm, on the red team, Cats My Keyboard, we've got the Time Walker's Pursuit, so Vision from Chromie, which I would say is basically necessary on this map. You've got Zoom Zoom Dahaka. He is not sponsored by Mazda. We have Searing Light on Ariel, Viciousness for the Greymane, and Feast on Fear for Diablo. Normally play Pregnancy Makes You Sick. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're bedridden. I'm a registered nurse when I'm not casting Koala, and man, I've seen the tough days of the pregnant folks. So hoping all goes well, and the bedridden section is quite short.
So we did see a lot of camps taken early, very early for this map. You know, it's good to take the camps early, but normally you don't see people take the Bruiser camp quite that soon.
And this benefits Nutcracker to a tremendous degree. Like, this can be so hard for IT Cowboy to push back on without losing his entire health bar to the Blades of the Angel of Death. That is a pause, which means we get to go back to the Bo5 map, as it looks like
Lag.
we have lag issues. Okay.
I'm guessing that would be on the part of Line Bus
It-
due to being 5,000 miles away from anything.
Yeah, our team had a person from Britain this year, and they would often have early game lag issues. So we'll just see where this goes. I do think Malthael into Dahaka was a pretty inspired pick. It means that I'm forgetting his name now. Nutcracker can show up a lot more frequently with this on a pale horse. Like, he can push out the lanes, he can pressure Dahaka into low health, and even if Dahaka digs in, it's not going to be that much longer before Malthael is there, and he's probably going to show up either with low health, or he will have had to back first and then dig in, which gives Malthael a ton of lane pressure. So this actually, Dahaka's going to have to play this so patiently until later in the game when the teams are more gathered up.
And taking a look at the level 4 talents, Malthael did take the die alone, so that will also put a ton of pressure on the Dahaka up in the top lane. Vala did go the W build, as opposed to the more standard AA build, but that's understandable. With a Greymane around, I wouldn't want to have a Gambit talent myself.
And when you got a lot of little skirmishes, I actually think there's a lot of value on the W talent in the sense that it can be hard to stack autos on this map, and it can be hard to stack Qs. But when the other team does try to come in, either because you've thrown someone with Garrosh or because you're fighting over the point, this can be a map where you can even just get more value from Fire at Will, because in a short, quick burst, you can get 3 or 4 stacks, whereas with autos or Qs, that can be harder to do. We're going to get the countdown to go back into the game.
Yep.
In a moment, apparently. There it is.
There we go. And we do see totems coming out of Rhaegar, which makes sense with Greymane lurking.
Siege camps will go down for both sides. Bottom is captured. The Shrine of the Moon is captured by Zul'jin Distillery as Nutcracker gets the top. But Greymane and Chromie are defending, and Chromie puts a clever little time trap. So they can delay that for quite a bit of time. They will rotate away. DeWitt is watching the bush, but the vision. Chromie sees DeWitt. And that means PJ Red, Apple, and Ghost can rotate onto this point. Ghost tries to jump immediately onto Befresh. But they are forced away because it is a 4 versus 3. Because Malthael puts so much pressure on Dahaka, Chromie has had to clear mid. And so the 4-man is going to rotate away from the bottom. This point will be recaptured by PJ Red.
IT Cowboy's taking so much damage in that top lane.
Oh, it's such a frustrating matchup when you're Dahaka. Dahaka is so good on many maps, but on this map where you want to hold a point or you want to push minions in, like those are your 2 win conditions as an offlaner, if someone picks Malthael, you really have to find opportunities to get value out of the global, and so far, it just hasn't been there for IT Cowboy yet. So... And kudos to Zul'jin Distillery. They're not really making it possible. They're always making sure waves are pushed in, that they outnumber in the bottom, so that even if Dahaka came in, it would be even. So this has been really difficult for the adaptive Zerg to deal with. Now, Ghost is going to jump onto Befresh, who gets down to approximately 100 hit points. There's the flip onto PJ Red. Good whip there from Apple. DeWitt is going to continue taking damage. Now, there is no curse bullet yet. Befresh needs to be careful. Ghost has shown a willingness to leap onto her face. And that's usually not a happy place for Vala with somebody jumping on her face, especially when they look like a werewolf.
Is going to get the channel.
They weren't... PJ Red was able to stay healthy long enough. They weren't able to even contest that point. And Malthael, I'm not sure how Malthael was doing. Wasn't either in the mid lane or taking the point in the top. So good capture there by Cats on my keyboard, looking like they were behind as we, or at least I, caster curse the heck out of Zul'jin Distillery. Mid gate will go down. Malthael will come down. There is the kick onto Refresh. I hope Vala enjoys her vacation in Chile down to the southwest here. I'm just pretending this is like a world map. Anyway.
There you go.
There's the jump onto Malthael. Now, with more people, Malthael can heal more, but he also has to take a lot more damage. There is a good groundbreaker, but DeWitt will be knocked under tower. Now, no one will go down here. DeWitt will try to walk away. The Slowing Sands will come out from Line Bus, and he does have his ultimate, so will not be Temporal Loop, much to the joy of both Kael'thas and Vala. Kael'thas does have 16 stacks of mana. Addict needs 4 more to get that shield, which could protect him from the crazy burst Greymane brings when paired with Diablo. I don't know why I said that sentence so enunciatingly clear. The burrow will come out, but out comes a perfect gravity lapse, so much damage, and IT Cowboy, he gets a good tongue here. Apple's trying to get here in time. PJ Red was in. They actually saved Dahaka! There's the stun onto DeWitt. Absolutely fantastic team play there. Never leave a man behind, even if he's a 3-armed Zerg. Well done by Cats on my keyboard.
And we see tents start to come in for both teams now. We do have the Aegis for the Oriole. We do have the APOC from the Diablo. We have Ancestral Healing. We have Phoenix, no Pyroblast, Sadness. The Taunt, the Rain, the Last Rites, the Isolation, the Go for the Throat instead of the Cursed Bullet.
They're not going to get here in time. There is the APOC, the knockup, but no positive. The Slowing Sands will come out, but Ancestral Healing hits. Tons of damage is going, and the taunt goes on PJ Red. IT Cowboy comes in, but he misses the Isolation. 80 health left on PJ Red, but Dahaka is all alone. The team turned to focus him, but he is going to sneak away through the bushes. Absolutely fantastic. Now, there was their engage, and they did miss. Thank you. But the PJ Red did engage that with the APOC. It didn't quite work, and it looked like it was going to be a big turnaround, but both these teams have played so cleanly. We're 7 minutes into the game. A lot of the ultimates were used, and the kills are 0-0.
But they did lose a bunch top. That kind of makes it a little tougher for IT Cowboy.
IT Cowboy looking... Yeah, to clear out this bruiser camp using his tongue, which is a normal way to defend, I think.
But we have a 4v5 going on in mid.
There it is. There's a throw in a line bust. That's the last person who wants to get caught. Oh, perfect Crystal Aegis means the last rights will not kill Chromie, but so much damage coming out. B-Fresh vaults in to kill the gnome. And it looks like Apple's taking a good chunk of damage. Ghost almost gets hit there. They're going to jump here, and Chromie can't activate this trap because she's dead. Normally dead people can't do things, in case you were curious.
Leo seems to manage fairly well.
And so did Tyrael, but I mean, they cheat, so whatever.
Although Tyrell isn't dead, though. Well, I guess he does things when he's dead, but
Yeah, he goes boom. Uther does things when he's dead. Someday we gotta run the full death comp sometime, you know?
trait value.
Yeah, trait value team. Oh, the isolation misses, and this means this is a dead Dahaka. There's no one here who can save him, and there's no way out. Oh, once again, he uses the bush juke. He plays mind games with Malthael, and the Angel of Death gets juked. Linebus does freeze be fresh here. They're looking. Oh no, Linebus stepped up too far. There comes the taunt. He's dead. Now they don't get the Dragon Knight, but they once again kill the New Zealander. As he is now 6 feet down under.
They killed a little dragon.
I feel like Chromie's one of those people in high school who's like, guys, I'm a dragon, but she really just knows a dragon. So she like knows all the cool stories, but your APOC with the Aegis will come out. Unstoppable there on DeWitt from the Purge. A good Purge from Lead. They will steal that, but Diablo does manage to save Apple, although it costs them 2 ultimates. And once again, IT Cowboy is at a sliver's health from that Malthael damage, and it looks like this time Bufresh will be uncontested as they go to take the Dragon Knight in the mid lane.
Oh, will she?
13's
beautiful groundbreaker.
13s are out first here. And it's a level and about, we'll call it just a level lead here for Zul'jin Distillery, who really want to see Game 5 happen. Time Trap does work on the vehicle. I actually find that a little surprising. I didn't think it would. But we have a 4-man defense in the mid, as once again, Nutcracker is here to make... Now, the isolation will hit, but that's literally just push him back. Diablo does get kicked in the mid lane into the Tri-Brush, as Vala is one of the characters that needs to be careful when they come out from the Dragon Knight. Now,
so one thing to note about using the time trap on the Dragon Knight is it does do the armor shreds. She did take that level 4.
So they are going to lose this middle fort. There's just no way around it. Ghost will get booted over to somewhere in the middle of Siberia, and he enjoys that little bit of cooldown time. Dragon is going to rotate bottom. They're going to look to put a little bit of damage here. In the top, IT Cowboy is going to... No! He pops his trait just in time. He had less than 100 health when he popped that trait. But he will be forced to back off, and Nutcracker will continue to push relentlessly. And because Catapults will now support the mid, Nutcracker can just kind of really aggressively push top and make Dahaka sad. And have you ever... I mean, do you know what it sounds like when Zerg cry?
Yes, I play Artemis.
Yeah, I've used the purification beam from the Ire. No, not from Ire, from, what's their flagship? I don't remember. Anyway, that's not relevant. Let's move on. Both teams taking their bruiser camp, but in the bottom because of the map pressure from Dahaka being forced back and having 16s first, the neutral bruiser camp will also go over to Zul'jin Distillery, as they have both a siege camp and the bruiser camp coming for this bottom fort that has no gate.
Hoku. They do have a Chromie who's very, very good at defense, and they do have a Greymane who's very, very good at shredding things, but I don't think they'll be able to get close enough to take that out.
I don't know why DeWitt ate all 3 of those Dragon Breaths. I think he's just a masochist. Anyway, it looks like this fort is incredibly likely to go down, as they do defend this siege camp, and it will actually, this siege camp will be full health. Apple is in a terrible position, has full energy, but they're just going to let her die. Goodbye, Ariel. And this, if the first 2 games are super encouraging, this has to be a little frightening if your cat's on my keyboard. You had a strong 2-game lead. You were playing so well. And Zul'jin Distillery have come back with a vengeance. They need to soak 16 here, and they need to find a fight that helps. And unlike game number 1, this time Diablo into Garrosh is not looking nearly as good. It's looking very, very risky. And PJ Red has not been allowed to be as a... But they're looking here. Nutcracker has had his way with Malthael. But here comes... The silence is onto Nutcracker. Here comes Ghost. The Unstoppable gets popped. But that is going to be it for the Angel. The last rites comes out. But the Burrow means that IT Cowboy is safe. Garrosh will go into the bottom.
They needed to do that a lot earlier in this game, I think.
They did, and they're going to lose their gate for that, because the quick response was, if everyone stop, we're going to take bottom. So a good counterplay from Zul'jin Distillery there. And they're starting to show why their decision-making put them at first place. IT Cowboy will dig bottom. This is a 5v4. A great flip there from D-Wit. IT Cowboy takes a ton of damage. The tongue will come out onto Garrosh. The Unstoppable is popped now. They put the stun. There's the taunt. There's the throw. Apocalypse comes out. There's so much damage going out onto Vala. Great into the fray there by D-Wit to throw her out of the fray. And even though it's a 5v4, both teams will back away, not wanting to deal with it, as the siege camp and catapult actually got about 20% on this bottom fort. And it is still a level and a quarter lead for the members of Zul'jin Distillery here. Malthael is heading to the top shrine, and Dahaka can go there all he wants, but he's only got about a third of his health. If he shows up at top shrine, he will die. Be Fresh.
I was looking for him.
Be Fresh reminds me a little bit of Memmius, where if you have E, you have to E in. It's the only way. It's the only way. Out comes the totem to make sure that gets captured. Where will they go with the Dragon Knight? Will they rotate top to make sure they have pressure in all lanes? No, they're going to rotate towards the mid for now, and the safe rotate across the Death Bridge comes from Cats on My Keyboard.
I would have liked to see them take that bottom, because that's where you have camps, and that's where you already have damage on that.
Rhaegar's pushing this in, and that's really risky because the Haka is coming in from the back here. Although it looks like he's rotating towards Rhaegar in the bottom lane. And, I mean, if there's anyone to blame for what's happened here, I think it's Krizzo. When he said that, oh, the totem will come out. Here's the burrow. It also saves from the light. A great gravity lapse, though. Out comes the Crystal Aegis, and it once again will save from the last rites. But who's going to save him from the taunt? No one. But when Krizzo said cats are better than dogs, he really jinxed cats super hard, so...
Well, they did draft a dog on the side of Zul'jin this time, so...
So it does look like they're going to get this bottom fort. They took out the gate in the mid. And Dahaka's dead for 30 more seconds. They just have to be patient here. 20s are out. We've got Titanic Might from Garrosh. Farflight Quiver makes Vala a going concern along with this Manticore. We've got Flamethrower making Kael'thas that much safer when he sieges. Farseer's Blessing. And no one can pick talents. It's like no one can stop death, but different for Malthael.
Yes.
We do have Piercing Sands at 18 for Chromie, so she is complete, and her team is wondering why they can't all get the benefit of time power as well. But apparently Chromie is super selfish.
Given that Malthael is the feeder on that team, I would kind of expect him to pick No One Can Stop Death, but...
The problem is the opportunity cost is that you lose any potential value on 20 if you're not dying.
Cheeky little dino, you.
IT Cowboy does steal the camp, but it doesn't really seem like Cats on My Keyboard care too much. The rest of Cats on My Keyboard are taking out this bruiser camp in the top. Malthael will take his pale horse and beat up these poor giants with their helmets on. See, they wear their helmets, guys. Bike safety. In the bottom, where there is no keep to defend it, this will have to be responded to. And Be Fresh is starting to do crazy damage with her 42 stacks of Fire. Well, 51 stacks of the Mana Addict mean that Kael'thas has 1,470 mana, which means his shield is that large. His shield is for 100% of his mana bar, and as he collects these globes, it increases his mana by 15 every time. So he basically gets a third of his health in shield now with these 51 stacks.
Oh, will they find him?
Oh, they don't find him in time! The shrines will activate. Out come the bruisers. D-Wit will capture the top here, and it looks like they want to set up this Chinese party bush, but 20s are going to come out now for Cats on My Keyboard, and we have, at least in terms of level, or talent tier, I should say, it's going to be even for the first time in a long time. We have Apex Predator, so Dahaka can get all over the map all the time. Shield of Hope, Hunter's Blunderbuss, and the Hellgate, which goes well with APOC Diablo. Dahaka has dug top. The 5-man is sticking closely together. Still no talent taken from Nutcracker. I think he's waiting to see if he does die. If he dies, it will be No One Can Stop Death. But if they get a big push on the bottom, he's going to take something that gives more value.
Yeah, the only thing is he has 0 stacks on last rites right now. So that just... against a Dahaka and a Chromie and an Oriole.
The Oriole has just saved it every time with the Crystal Aegis. It's been so well done.
Well,
Cowboy has to be
Oh,
careful here. He's been seen. The Apex Predator will come out. They have no stun, but he'll dig bottom. And with Apex Predator, he can play Ring Around the Rosie all game long. King of Hots, welcome. Thanks for the support. We love you too. So the bottom gate is going to go down here. The Hunter's Blunderbuss doing insane damage here. There is a rotation, but it's only 3 so far. They're looking to have the defense. Out comes the Colossal Totem. It's going to be a big slow. Led takes a lot of damage from that Hunter's Blunderbuss, though. There is the knock-up onto Ghost, but the slow is enough. The DeWitt is discouraged from continuing after the Worgen Commander.
And Dahaka goes back topping.
Hi, I a fast dig wizard. Well, he's a lizard, but you're a lizard, Harry.
Also has to be a little careful. If it's hot here, bad things happen.
Both teams are playing so tentatively now. They're both at 20. Neither team wants to lose this game. It is the life of Zul'jin Distillery on the line. But for the red team, they don't want to get in the headspace where they have to have a one-game wins all after they were up 2-0. APOC will come out in a tight choke point. That stuns 3. And now there's the sun, the tongue onto ankle shot, but he does have the huge thing. The huge shield. He's being chased by IT Cowboy. Led will come on. Now he's all by himself as his team runs to try to save him now, but that's going to be the end for Dahaka. He's dead. The Hellgate will come out. They're putting the stun onto Rhaegar. Great unstoppable there as he gets healed again. Ghost is jumping on Nutcracker. They do manage to kill him, but Apple will go down, and he can now pick No One Can Stop Death if he's so inclined, and he does. Malthael's back. It is a 2-for-0. With the Haka dead, there is no one to contest this top point, which means they have to defend it in the mid or decide where they're going to defend otherwise. They look like they're going to try to sneak for the bottom, but I don't think they can get that. Well, maybe they can. There is the capture. Can she get it in time? No! Now, a good vision there by Ankle Shot. Still 16 seconds.
Inevitable.
Oh, so much damage on the projector. D-Win is rotating around. They're going to try to catch the last 3 here. Be Fresh is here. The Fire Will does tons of damage. Oh, it just misses the stun. That is it for Diablo. He will come back into the fray from Lead. Or onto Lead from D-Wit. They're going to chase this Greymane. Ghost doing everything he can. Please don't find me. Please don't kill me. I'm a good wolf. Please don't kill me. Oh, gosh. That's a Garrosh. Oh, gosh. That's a Malthael. Hi. The Gravity Lapse will miss. The Fire will not. The Hungering Arrow doesn't. Another Hungering Arrow hits. The Groundbreaker will miss, however. And now...
So they're spending a little too much time chasing kills at this point. With Dahaka back up, he can single-handedly stall pretty much. Yep, there he goes, bottom.
And once again, Be Fresh will be really close to getting it, and will lose it at the last moment.
Yep.
Oh, Eternally Blue calling the Game 5. Will we see Game 5, though? Red team is desperate, but once again, they keep coming out to our line. Bus is caught. He gets healed, and out comes a big APOC. The timeout will save him for now, but Apple's going to go in. No, the Shield of Hope saves him just in time, but down goes Chromie. Out comes a Farseer's Blessing. It will heal everyone. Be Fresh is taking so much damage from Ghost, he will go down, but IT Cowboy is taking equal amounts of damage, and no healing is left on Apple at the moment. If the Colossal Totem comes down, and it's going to mean PJ Red will die. Malthael does so much damage. D-Wet with the flip onto Apple. He does so little, he can't do anything. He's dead. PJ Red will go down as well. Ghost is all alone. He's all alone. And Patrick Swayze is not cuddling him now. It is a 5-for-1 team wipe. We're going to a game number 5.
Wow, that was very well done. They were just patient enough to get the kills they needed, but not so patient they let the other team back in the game. But yeah, that was very, very well played at the end there by Distillery, showing that they knew they needed at least 1 kill before they could go on the hard offensive. So, well played, well played.
They were down 2-0. They were backs against the wall. Game 3 was neck and neck. And since then, Zul'jin Distillery has not been afraid to make the big plays. They did not let themselves be cowed by the specter of possible defeat. Even the specter of possibly being swept by the 8th seeded team. They have come out hard. And even though Ghost looked fantastic in game number 4, it just wasn't good enough. The team play, the calls, the decisiveness from Zildjian Distillery means that Game 5 is on the table. And I truly hope you are all ready for it. Go take a pee. Go get yourself some water. We are buckling in for a game number 5. The talents are here. Check them out.
Yeah, so it looks like Vala has been a difference maker in every game. So I don't know if you can leave her on the table at this point. I think she's just too strong a hero, especially when you have solid tanks like we do on both teams. It's just, she's a menace.
And I've got to say to both these teams, for an 8th seed coming into the number 1 seed, sometimes we expect it to be a little uneven. We expect it to be a little unfair. I mean, you've got the team that kind of scraped into the playoffs against the team that has run the table. This has not been that. Cats on my keyboard looked strong in Game 1 and dominant in Game 2. Game number 3 was a toss-up till the end with some really clean macro decision-making from Zildjian Distillery. And in game number 4, even against that frustrating and annoying Dahaka, who needed the level, literally his level 20 ability to not just get farmed by Malthael, it has been so tight. It has been so close. Anyone could win game number 5, and it's going to be the Horde versus the Alliance because we are going to Alterac Pass.
Yes, I actually played Alterac Valley way too much in my WoW days, so whenever I hear that, objective up sound, or objective cap sound, it looks like Cats on my keyboard picked the map because Team 1 has first pick.
Cats did pick Alterac. So first pick.
Well, this map is completely 100% different from
everything else we've seen.
Everything else in the game. The only similarity is to Hanamura, where the objective is take camp on cooldown.
I think it is the lowest cooldown camp in the game, but it is also the only camp they have. The neutral bosses on this map are, if you take them and you haven't won at least a 3-for-0 team fight, they are a trap.
So, haha, I beat you to it.
You did. Well done.
Yeah, the boss is good as a distraction. So it's something to get out there when on the opposite side, or if you can do a double boss, so they have to kind of split their attention. I'd be interested to see what the offlaners do here, because you could go, the route of the offlaner does the camp, in which case you want something like a Hogger, or you can go the direction of the offlaner has to push 24/7, 365, in which case you want something like a Leoric or a Malthael, and then just have like a Greybane or a Vala to do the camps. So Hanzo's fantastic on this map. Junkrat I expect to be banned because Junkrat is 3 times as annoying on this map as he is on every other map where he's annoying.
Now, 2 really sneaky heroes for this map in terms of taking the camp are Anubarak, because his beetles can aggro the minions while you take it. Samuro is also a huge problem on this map. There's so many avenues for him to escape, and he can also just, even if his team loses a fight, say in the bot lane, if the objective's in the top, he can get there in about 4 seconds and capture it while his clones distract the thing. So I don't know if anyone plays Samuro on these teams, but yeah, he's terrifying here.
I don't think I've seen Samuro out of either of these teams before. So
you just wait till Limebust busts out another hero that's associated with green. He's all about
I know Limebust does play Samuro more than I do, but that's not saying much.
I feel like everyone plays Samuro more than you do. You hate Blade Masters.
I don't hate Blade Masters. I'm just terrible at them.
So we once again, this time the Junkrat is banned as you had called. So the Mephisto is still up. Now Mephisto wasn't banned until the third ban last time, and we didn't see them prioritize it. Once again, they are choking off. And as you said, Valera is the, or sorry, Vala, not Valera, good lord. Very different hero. Vala is the priority. She has been a difference maker. Linebus will get back on that comfortable blaze, though. Apple will get the Brightwing, which had been prioritized earlier, and she does make a big deal on a huge far lane map. The later the game goes, the more valuable Brightwing will be.
So I do expect to see Ghost back on the Greymane because, you know, one, he can pressure the Vala, especially with a Brightwing to help, and two, he can rip that camp apart very quickly, both defending it and taking it. Ragnaros! Alright, let's go!
Purged by fire. They take double fire heroes here, as we see the next ban phase come out.
Please go smash. Please go smash. Please go smash. Please go smash.
I love your enthusiasm, Hoku. You don't pick Ragnaros on Alterac for Smash.
Smash. Let's go smash. Well, one thing that you do pick Ragnaros and Alterac for is he can stall that objective very, very well. So he just, you want to go cap that, he goes to the building and says, boop, 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 nope, nope, nope.
If Cats win this one, I want to ask why they picked the Stitches ban. I don't really see Stitches being a huge difference maker in the comp they have so far.
He is, because he can stand behind walls while you're trying to cap and hook you into your fort, into their fort, and then Kilthos, Gravity Lapse, and you know they've got Gravity Lapse, they've got Rain of Vengeance, they've got a lot of follow-ups on a good hook. Stitches can be very effective on this map, so given how annoying it was to them on that Towers of Doom map, I can see why they would not want to go into that here. Plus, you know, they don't have a healer pick yet. So there's a lot of healers that could pair really well with the Stitches as well. Ooh, Hanzo.
We
I
haven't
also
seen
like
him
that
since
pick a
game
lot.
one. The Ghost reprises his role on the Elder Shimada brother.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
I can't help it. My sister brought me pizza.
Didn't your mother ever tell you not to talk with your mouth full? Yeah, so Hanzo can provide vision, which is really helpful for the Diablo. He's got a lot of poke. He can rip the camp. Garrosh.
If it ain't broke, don't fix
hate
it.
it.
That Vala Garrosh Rhaegar combo looked very strong last map, but the insta-lock Jaina by IT Cowboy. It worked in game one with the Hanzo. Let's do it again. Is this the exact same comp they had in game one? PJ Red was on Diablo, Linebus was on Blaze, and I think this is their comp from game one. All the way into game 5, they got to pick the same comp. Here it is.
Well, the only issue is it's a lot bigger map, so as long as you don't fight in that one little tiny corridor next to the objective, it's going to be a lot harder to raw rip that that combo. So we'll see if they can pull it off. If they can, kudos to them. It is a slightly higher execution comp than what we see on the side of Zildjian Distillery. In addition, we do have the Rhaegar clans that could help as well. So this will be interesting to see if they have the same success with it as they did previously.
Well, it's almost morning in New Zealand. And Koala in chat is busy playing Malthael because she's throwing shade at her own team. In the blue, we have got Zildjian Distillery. DeWitt has brought the for the Horde, the War Chief Garrosh. We've got Kael'thas, ankle shot. Led is playing an orc as well, even though they're fighting for Vandar Stormpike. Weird. We've got Nutcracker on the rag and Be Fresh on the Vala. This is Zildjian Distillery in game number 5. Hoku, tell the red team what they've won.
No time to do this. Ghost playing Hanzo, IT Cowboy on Jaina, Apple on Brightwing, Linebus on Blaze, PJ Red on Diablo.
And she nails the lightning round. Koala, tell her what she's won. So we see, again, a lot of the same abilities. We see the Warbreaker, the Fire at Will, Mana Addict. We've got Meatball Ragnaros, although I wonder if we see the Spaghetti Hanzo to go with it, with the Twin Noodle. We've got Colossal Totem. We've got Simple Geometry, the Lingering Chill, causing Jaina's trait to go to 1.5 times from 4 to 6. We've got Adrenaline Stim Pack, and we have Feast on Fear. Jaina is already rotating to the camp. It is this important as B-Fresh and Lead rotate as well. Apple will rotate to help out Jaina as we've got a 1-3-1 existing for both teams at this point.
I would like to point out that Hanzo did manage to get 7 stacks in that first little skirmish, so that was definitely a big bonus for his build.
Nutcracker misses the meatball, so that probably means they'll lose the game. GG.
I would also like to point out that PJ Red has 0 hero damage. Report Diablo, please.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 0 hero damage. But so does Rhaegar. So he's probably,
Press W.
he hasn't bought pardon?
I said press W.
Oh, he's done 33 damage. I mean, that's even more trolly, let's be honest. Haha, true. I don't want to give coaching advice here. Don't listen to me. I'm not in Div A. I finished season in Div E, so this is not coaching advice. But I feel like Red Team, their job is to play this patient until 10s. They can't be too aggressive into what they see here. I feel like the opposite is true for Zul'jin Distillery. It's actually incumbent on them to be the aggressors in this match because they cannot allow this setup of the APOC Ring of Frost, either with Noodles or Dragon Arrow. Either of those Hanzo ults will be a problem. So, Nutcracker takes a lot of damage from Ghost here, but the Scatter Arrow will hit nobody. They're looking for the gank. Line Bus cleverly sniffs that out, spills some oil over by them, and Garrosh decides he does not want the next Exxon Valdez happening on his watch, so he walks away. Nutcracker is incredibly low, 90 hit points. Ghost also low, getting attacked by minions, but Apple will teleport in to save Mr. J Mother. Now, we have 2 orcs on the side of Vandar Stormpike. We have 1, just 2. Is Brightwing an Alliance member? I actually don't know the answer to that. We'll call her neutral. We have an Alliance member on the side of the Horde. Everything's all screwy. Yeah, even Kale Thos is a Horde member, and he's on the side of the Alliance. So, I mean, if you can figure out... And Ragnaros is just a villain. What the heck is going on here? Literally, everyone but Vala on the side. Everyone but Vala on the side of Zul'jin Distillery wants the dwarves dead. And Vala isn't a racist, so... You know, she doesn't care. We have 5 in the mid lane because reasons. Who needs soak? Who needs experience? We're both going to be 7 soon. Let's just hit all our buttons. I feel like I'm getting tired and talking nonsense, but I also feel like these teams are getting tired and playing ARAM. Am I wrong, Hoku?
So there is a point for that skirmish in the middle. Basically, they had a null camp that they were supporting. And if you can get damage on that middle fort, that gives you a huge advantage because the middle fort is typically where you retreat to on that first objective. So getting damage on that is big.
And the
it's
gate
even better if you can actually kill it.
The gate is predominantly gone in the middle. 4 cats on my keyboard. In the top, both gates seem to be safe. And DeWitt is a little bit forward. He's taking a lot of damage, but he does pop the Indomitable, and he will get out. Again, it's always funny that he warns people. I'm unstoppable! Like, thanks, bud. It says it over your head. Shiggity
So
in the chat with the go Div C. Well, Div C will win tonight, one way or the other. So you'll get your wish, Shiggity Wiggity. Camps are up. Now, the Null camp is also up for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. Blaze and Kael'thas are both rotating up now. There's a flip onto Diablo, and the totem comes down. This isn't going to be good for them. Apple manages to phase shift onto PJ Red. DJ Witt's in a tough spot, and Led's healing is currently on cooldown. There's a great gravity lapse from Ankle Shot, which for now will keep him alive. He's at 40 hit points, but he will live as B-Fresh walks in, hits the fire at will stacks. Lots of damage on the Ankle Shot. IT Cowboy at 90. Oh, misses the Q, and the shove just misses the edge. Oh, he dies to the Flame Stomp. He dies to the W, and first blood goes to a Diablo Fire Stomp. Or is it Flame Stomp? I don't care. That's bonkers. Oh, the highlight
Yeah.
message from Gucci Fur. They will also kill Vala. Good thing she wasn't Creed of the Hunter. Am I right? So, Lead will go for their camp. IT
We
Cowboy
also
and Apple
see
will go
that
for theirs.
Hanzo.
Sorry.
We do see that Hanzo did finish his quest, so that is a big power spike for him.
Now, Wit does flip them over. He still has no chance to recapture this as the line bus is just firing, well, fire all over the place. So the first set of cavalry will go over to Cats on my keyboard. Gucci Fur, I think you were the first person to ever redeem ohms in chat. Love to you, my man. Or woman. Love to you. All right, now Cracker does get stunned. Out comes the double noodles, and the meatball rag gets spaghettied in the top lane. That is it for Ragnaros. 10s are out. We've got the Dragon Strike. We've got the Ring of Frost, Blink Heal, Bunker Drop, and Apocalypse. On the far side, we see the Lava Wave, Ancestral Healing, Taunt, Warlord's Challenge, Phoenix, and I'm guessing Rain of Vengeance. Why the heck would you pick Strafe into this? Just my opinion. So
we did see that full combo that we saw in Game 1 go on the Ragnaros. It was the full APOC.
IT Cowboy does get thrown in, though. He's taking a ton of damage. D-Wood actually managed to get the final kill. The Ancestral Healing will come out for Lead, but in a 2v3, they actually managed to kill the Jaina. Sorry, going back to you, Hanzo, they did catch Nutcracker with that full combo.
And I will say that one of the reasons Jaina died in a 2v3 is Lava Wave, not Smash. Sad.
Gucci Fur, I think I love you. You're a ridiculous human. What is an ohm? Here comes the tank trap, though. Although there's not enough people here to rotate to it. Ghost is here. He has noodles available. Is he going to fire it off here? Yes! Jinjari Shobu! They still capture the boss. Led is taking a ton of damage from the noodles. He will go down, and they flip Garrosh in and kill him as well. But the boss is still here. Is 2 heroes for the boss worth it? Well, they're behind almost a full level in experience now, but the gate is down. So, we will see. Now, Hanzo can do pretty decent damage to a boss, even though he's not great at doing damage to buildings. So that scatter arrow hit approximately 0.0. You're amped up. Oh, well, this is a pretty high voltage set. I'm not even trying to make a pun with that. This is nutty. I am shocked that you know all these wonderful puns, though, Gucci. And, yeah. Hopefully this excitement arcs into the rest of the playoffs. This is what NGS brings us, though, guys. NGS brings us this kind of coordinated, bullshit, crazy lead getting caught in the... But D-Wit catches the IT Cowboy. This is bizarre. They also catch Apple in the middle of that. She manages to blink heal onto a null. Lead is incredibly low. Has to use the Ancestral Healing on himself. And now B5 is super low. Gets caught out and killed by IT Cowboy, who goes down to half health from the Kael'thas damage. The Dragon Noodles are coming out. Lead runs away because he knows how much this hurts. And it ends up being a 1-0 and a level and a quarter lead for Cats on my keyboard. They are not ready for the reverse sweep. Sorry, Hoku. They keep fighting every time you go to make a point.
Well, I was trying to get your attention to the fact they were fighting because you were talking about puns.
PJ Red comes over here, and with my last 2 remaining, I will come the... That's actually really going to help in the top lane, that wave. Lead gets disrupted. They do manage to recapture the camp, only losing 9 seconds on it. My last 2 remaining blood cells, good lord, brain cells are hardly touching anymore. This has been... We've been streaming for 3 hours. Not quite. 2 hours and 45 minutes. This set has been bonkers.
Yeah, this is the full 5. So we do see Blaze protecting the top fort. We do see a little bit of just kind of hovering in mid. Both of the camps are up. Jaina's going to go do hers. Vala and Rhaegar are going to go do theirs. Brighton's coming to assist the Jaina. So we're just going to kind of see a little bit of clearing and scuffling. They do have about a level lead, so we do need to catch up on Soak. I guess Ragnaros will be able to do that shortly.
Yeah. So, if you haven't yet seen the NGS Patreon, check it out. Because this is what happens when we teach Game Pass kids how to play Heroes of the Storm. Just give them 9 or 10 years, guys. They will be the next generation of NGS masters.
So we
So,
see the null camp cleared out on the red team side, so they will get a little bit of a good push into that mid
Rag
fort.
coming to answer
Right.
here.
Yep.
And he will have
Right
Lava
past
Wave
the
again
answer.
in 30 seconds. Out comes the APOC,
Uh-oh.
though. Oh, they were jumping on the boss, and it looks like Led gets incredibly low again. He's blown away. They're going to steal this boss. That is the end of Brightwing, though, so it's healer for healer. Out comes the Ring of Frost. Oh, no, he walked back into it. D-Wit's going to die. PJ Red throws him into the Blizzard. That's the end of Chaos. They stole the boss. They killed 3 for 2. B-Fresh is trying to run away, but he's going to get caught, and Gilly just tries to get a last few couple stacks as he goes down. The only one left on that team is Nutcracker, and he's just singing a little ballet up here, and then da 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 in the mid lane. He will send the fire bottom, but they are going to lose this fort, and they are also going to give over their camp at 11.5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a greedy boss play. I don't like the call.
They didn't have enough
can
vision
see-
of the opponent team at that point, and it really, really cost them. I think they keep forgetting the Hanzo ultimates. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they keep forgetting the impact it has. Noodles is not the strongest ult. It isn't Dragon's Arrow, but it does force you to walk one side or the other, and Linebus can just delay this forever. D-Wit cannot recapture this while he's firing off things. Here comes the Flame Stomp. It's at 4.9 seconds. Can they recapture it? They're trying. They do get it. Here comes the Noodle, though. It does get led a little bit. Out comes the Phoenix, though, as we've got the different space-making alts. Ankle Shot walks up, gets hit. Yeah, if this game gets any more intense, I'm going to need a Surge Protector. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. More electric jokes. Top fort is very low for cats on my keyboard, and another lava wave could spell the end of that fort, evening up the buildings. In the bottom, we have neutral wave priority, but that Reaver minion is going to make life more difficult for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. Linebus is pushing top. The Knolls are captured once again from both teams. They were looking at Hanzo, but he safely escapes. That huge W is nuts. Only Lime isn't
So it
contributing.
looks like we're setting up for a skirmish over the mid.
The Blizzard.
IT Cowboy stalling out the good blocks.
So the Stormfront,
And-
not often picked by Jaina at 13, but so useful on this map when you're trying to get delays. They're trying to catch Line Bus and IT Cowboy. There's the flip on a Line Bus, but Apple comes in, a huge top, but the Ring of Frost hits 4. The Unstoppable will come out. B-Fresh gets the Ancestral Healing, but D-Wit will go down to the Noodles. So much damage comes out. Ragnaros will go down as well. That is at 300 hit points. A really good gravity lapse, but that doesn't matter. If you're up in the air, but Kael'thas is down in the grave, who won that trade? You tell me. B-Fresh just trying to get more stacks. The shove there. And B-Fresh is going to go down as well. Great route there from IT Cowboy. The Scatter Arrow almost gets led, and it is a 4-0 as Cats on my keyboard is looking to take Game 5 and move on to the second round of playoffs in Div C. Zul'jin Distillery has got to make some choices or some changes to their decision making if they don't want this to be over on this next defense, because Knolls are barreling down the middle lane and the cavalry's coming.
And that was the issue, is they are fighting those choke points. That is what this team is designed to punish. So they have to either look for picks of safe spaces,
This
or
fort will give
just
20.
give things, or I was gonna say, or just give things and not worry so much about, clear the objective or the boss rather than fight over it and end up dying horribly.
I think they were trying to play as like, the Ring of Frost will come out and hit nobody. Out will come the Noodles just so they can get this gate. 20s are out. We do see the Dragon Awakens, Ice Blink, Invisible Friends, Burn Notice, and a Hellgate. This has been unbelievable. Do you think that they forgot the Game 1 comp and how strong it was on the side of Zul'jin Distillery? Or do you think that they just felt they could beat it on Alterac Pass? Out will come the Danger Noodles. Again, Ankle Shot takes 2/3 of his health from that one ultimate. All the forts are down, all the keeps are up, but they no longer have, well, they have most of their wall on top, just not the gate.
They might have just thought they had better answers for it this time with the radar. Oh, here comes the
Oh,
invade.
this is really aggressive. They're going to back off, though. They
Don't
know they
fight
can't
here.
afford to fight this. They do. No, D-Wit, don't walk
fight
back in.
here.
Don't be silly. I don't know why I'm yelling at someone who can't hear me, but...
Don't fight there.
Well,
So
especially
they
when,
did
not when
learn
you're
their
down
lesson.
20s. That's a death sentence. So
Yeah.
they wisely
Well, they
give
did
over the
learn their
camp here.
lesson. They didn't go in there. So
Top boss is
they're gonna
up,
go
though.
tank bosses.
This is a very tough choice. DeWitt looks like he's going to try and scout it. This is not an
Wow.
area you want to fight this team at level 20, and
And,
they are just going to give it.
and you can clear it. You've got Vala, you've got Rhaegar.
Is
The
bottom-
boss
They're
isn't
going to look to
gonna
trade
win.
bosses here.
Yep.
Because he
That's
picked
smart.
the Panda Man, and then he walks away bored 2 minutes into the game. Is there a Panda Man? Oh, I think he means Rhaegar. 5-year-olds are better at picking who's gonna win than the rankings did. So, who knows? The Flame Purge will come out. This is gonna give them a big boost in experience as it clears these waves. You just watch that experience rocket up.
Oh, careful, Rhaegar! Oh no!
Oh, he did get the Ancestral out, but where's he gonna go? What he really needed was some Ancestral peeling. Da-dum-dum.
Well, he stayed to clear a wave, and he should have just run because you know as soon as they took the top boss, they were going to be running for the bottom boss. So that was just an unforced error on Rhaegar's part.
Now they do have very fast clear with Nutcracker and with Be Fresh. They're going to look at defending this camp. IT Cowboy doesn't quite capture it. That's good. There's the flip, but they're still down their healer. They know they need to fight this. They have just a 20. The taunt will come out, but out comes the bunker, and that might be. Oh, but the double throw comes out. PJ Red gets out. They managed to kill a Jaina. They have won a 4v5 with no healer. Some fantastic plays. Zul'jin Distillery is not ready to roll over and die. The danger noodles will come out. Be Fresh needs to be very careful here. PJ Red looks to come back in, gets ankle shot. He's stunned. He doesn't have a chance to put up his shield yet, and he will go down. And now it is once again a 4v3, but Rhaegar will be back in 5 seconds. Nutcracker's here. The lava wave is going bottom, and this pressure, if they can keep things distracted, if they can keep things even, could provide a win con. DeWitt is being chased by Apple and Ghost, takes a ton of damage. There's a big shield. The Molten Core will come out for, I think, the first time in this match. A big stun will come out. It hits Line Bus, but the Danger Noodle is going to core that is going to clear Molten Core faster than you can say, oh, look, spaghetti. Oh, that does so much damage, and Line Bus is able to get. Oh, the jumper rolls are missing. He gets flipped in. Line Bus doesn't have bunker anymore. He's going to take so much damage. DeWitt takes a ton of damage. Well, he's going to go down, excuse me, and here comes the Noodles to protect the camp. Nutcracker.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything they can do about this. They're just going to have to give it, clear it. It's still defendable.
And they do have waves pushing in, meaning they're not going to start right up against their keeps.
Yep.
Zul'jin is playing desperate. Absolutely. And this, now, do they want to fight in this choke point? Noodles isn't up, but the more attacks Ghost gets off, the more cooldown. It's already down to 10 seconds because he hit the scatter arrow. They do manage to push them back. A ton of damage on a PJ Red here. Out will come the Ring of Frost, though. They put a ton of damage onto the Vala, but Be First managed to stay alive as Led hits a perfect Farseer's Blessing buffed Ancestral Healing.
And that was without Garrosh.
Absolutely fantastic. Garrosh will be up by the time these are crashing towards the keeps. Now, I do suspect they will lose at least one keep, but again, the lava wave, while it won't affect the cavalry very much, it will kill the wave they're coming with, which will definitely weaken it as it goes into the waves. Mid will be first to crash in, and it does look like Zul'jin Discovery. I call them Discovery every time. Zul'jin Distillery. There's a big stun, though, onto the Garrosh. He throws in PJ Red, though. The Noodles will come out. Here's the top, but no one can attack during it because those Noodles create so much space. Be Fresh and Ankle Shot are zoned away from the entire team, and this whole time the Cavalry has been smacking away on the mid keep. It will go down here 20 minutes into the game, and the Lava Wave will come out the middle. I feel like that's sort of wasted because Vandar can handle this, but they're not going to be able to handle watching 2 keeps go down. Now, Apple's having a hard time keeping everyone's health up. Out comes the Ring of Frost. It's going to miss. The Blizzard comes out as well, but so much damage onto Apple and onto the Jaina. PJ Red is low. They're going to throw PJ Red in. He takes so much damage. That's the end of him. Linebus comes in with the stun. The Danger Noodles will come out. Double Dragon is double dragging its ass through this entire core area, but this is not the end of the game, folks. Zul'jin Distillery has some things to say about what's going to happen next. Now, Diablo had enough souls. He is back alive,
Diablo is back up.
but he's going to be squishy as all heck for about the next 3 minutes. Unless they get some big kills, because kills, I believe, stack with souls faster.
So, top boss is up in 30 seconds. I don't like blue fighting over it, but it looks like they're going to.
Well, for the moment, both Noodles and Ring of Frost and Apoc are all finished. Well, all ults except for Lava Wave, which isn't a team fight ult. I mean, it looks like they want to start the fight now. There's the flip on the Apple. That's the one person you can't afford to have go down, and he's dead. Out comes the Unstoppable from DeWitt, but Brightwing is dead. Now, they can come the fastest back to a team fight, but having your healer dead is a huge problem. The Knolls will press in towards mid, and Zul'jin Distillery looks like they want to take the top boss.
Yep, they're going to take the top boss. I would expect...
The Lava Wave will come out. Yes, the answering boss.
My keyboard are going to take bot. Yep, they're going for the bottom boss. Garrosh is looking, but DeWitt, you are by yourself, my friend.
He's trying to make them think there's more people here than there are. He will! The single Garrosh makes them rethink this. And it is a big delay, but oh, he gets caught. He gets stunned. There is a further stun. Root stun. Oh my goodness, that scatter arrow killed him while he's still like 40% of his health left. That's huge. But boss is taken during this time, and it is still 4v4. Now, Brightwing is back in 5 seconds, and she can phase shift in, but they have to answer this. They can't just let a 22-minute boss with 41,000 health just meander into their keeps. That's what we call bad asset management.
Well, they're going to start channeling the objective. And now they can go and have... No, they're not going to go.
They want to invade on this camp. No, they just want to see if it's being taken at the moment. They're sending Apple to go deal with this, but there's a huge wave with it. They'll lose a keep if they don't respond to this. But they're looking to trade the keep for the win. This is their hope. If they take this camp, they will win the game. That is what's on their mind. Now, Garrosh is not back for 10 more seconds, so they won't be able to come in onto this unless they think they can start a fight without their boss. But again, they don't have a lot of team fight ultimates left. Every ultimate is up except for Apoc. Ring of Frost will be up before they decide to look in here.
I don't think they can get in time. There's still 10 seconds.
The top keep will go down to boss. Apple's still here. They're looking to put some damage down at least so they can't push with it. They're trying to stop it, but out will come the Danger Noodles. B-Fresh is going to die to the Danger Noodles. And they lose the camp anyway. That was too aggressive. That was just a little bit too much. There's the flip and a really good, but there's the stun. And we know when he's close to a wall, he's going to die. DeWitt goes down again. And it's a 2-0, and this could be game for the number 8 seed over number 1. Lava Wave will come out. Kael'thas dies as well. PJ Red uses the Hellgate, does get caught here, gets hit by a meatball. That's the spicy meatball. I don't know why that was Mario, but anyway. They're jumping onto Vandar's Stormbreak. The Molten Core will come up. Vandar doing his best Sonya impression, but he doesn't do nearly as much damage as she does. With 2 of these left, he only has 20 armor left. He's at 15,000 health. He's at 14,000 health. He's at 13,000 health. Molten Core's doing everything it can. Vandar's trying to defend himself valiantly, but it's not enough. Led is pushing back. Led is dead. Vandar's Stormbreak is dead. The number 8 seed has just defeated in a 5-game. They've stopped the reverse sweep. They've come from the very bottom of the standings to defeat Zul'jin Distillery. GG.
Woo! What a series. That was something. That was definitely something. Yeah, that combo is something that the next round team is definitely going to have to keep in mind, because that did some serious work.
Line Bus once again goes 0 deaths on that Blaze. They outkilled 22-6. All right, well, good night, everybody. I have no energy left. Let's see if there's anybody who wants to tell us about how that went. We can pull them down into the casting lobby. Absolutely amazing. There was that opportunity for this to be a reverse sweep, and Zul'jin Distillery looked good early. Their decision-making in Game 3 and 4 was so crisp and so clean, but it felt like they needed to be aggressive pre-10, but they needed to be very tactical post-10, and it feels like they had a slightly hard time flipping that switch. And it was no trouble. Let's find where our friends are because they can't get into the one we're in.
Oh,
Um,
I asked if anyone wanted an interview, but I don't know if they saw it because I didn't
oh,
ping.
they pulled into. There we go. Hello, absolutely splendid 3-hour series, full 5 games. How dehydrated are cats on my keyboard right now?
I've gone for like at least a liter of water.
Is it morning in New Zealand yet?
It's almost 4:30 p.m.
Oh, PM. Oh
I
my
am
goodness. So,
18 hours ahead.
so if we go all the way back to game 1, you had a fantastic draft that worked so well, and you managed to get that exact same draft for game number 5. Is that just magic, or are you guys planning the whole time to let them win game 3 and 4 and then surprise them with the game 1 draft?
My heart can't take that sort of planning, man.
Yeah, we would have preferred the 3-0, but it was a great 5-game series, but that definitely got sweaty. That's for sure.
Coming in, did you guys feel like you were the underdogs being seed 8 compared to seed 1, or did you just come in with that thought like, you know what, we're as good as anybody and we're going to do our best?
Well, we've had an interesting season. Two of our starters were like missed the first half of the season, so we didn't even get to play against them in the season full strength. I think we forfeited that week.
Yeah, we forfeited this match. We have not played them this season. This is the first time we're facing off.
Yeah, so myself and Apple, plus this lineup, PJ, Lime, and IT, we knew that we're a whole different team once we all put us in together. So we knew that we had that big, like we could upset. We came in this knowing that we're the underdogs, but also knowing that we haven't played them at full strength this entire season.
Awesome. Before we'll let Hoku ask a question next, but I have one thing. If any of your opponents are currently watching at the moment, is there anything you'd like to say to them after this incredibly hard-fought series?
Just excited. I hope
I'm
you
excited.
are happy to schedule around New Zealand time. So.
I was like, how fist out am I ready to go with that question?
Yeah.
I was like, how much smack talk do I want to lay down now? And I'm like, do I want to? Nah. That's not my stuff.
So I did notice that you did ban out the stitches on Alterac. He certainly was quite the issue for you folks on Towers of Doom. Were you already planning to go with that comp that you ran in Game 1 when you were doing the draft in Game 2, or was that sort of a, well, we've got half of it, let's just go ahead and do the rest of it?
I would say, like, early on when the bans started to look the same, I know that they banned Junk instead of Mephisto, but, like, they picked Vala first, and then we got the next 2 picks, and then it's like, it started to look like the previous games, and as long as we banned the Stitches, we were ready for them to take the Garrosh, and then we were going to counter with the Jaina. So, like, we saw the mirror of the previous game, and we just kept going that way in the draft, and then once it all fit together, we were confident going into that last game.
Yeah, very much. It started out like the first draft, and then we were like, it worked the first time, why not do it again? And lo and behold, the second time it did work out as well.
Yeah.
So
the other question that I had is on map number 4, which was the Dragonshire. I noticed you did do a little bit of a rotation, took Line Bus off of the the Blaze, and instead had IT Cowboy on the Dahaka. Do you play Dahaka, Line?
That's a secret, isn't it?
Okay.
No, they're very kind to let me out of my jail cell every now and again.
Gotcha. Okay, because I know that
IT is just quite a confident Dahaka, so I'm more than happy to give it to him when it has the option. And that map, and with who we were going into, you would have noticed we had to ban out every time. That was still a way to see if we can control the draft, because hey, we have first pick. IT's a confident Dahaka. Dahaka can do very well on that map. Let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah, we were discussing that prior to the draft.
Aggressively tried to counter that with the Malthael, forcing you to choose between like dueling and taking the lanes. So I think you did about the best you could with what they picked into it. Now, I've got some glazing, then a question. Lime, you hardly died on Blaze all series. It looked fantastic. You had some great jet propulsions. Ghost, no matter what you were playing, except maybe that Greymane in Game 3, I thought you looked super confident, super strong. But I have a question with the mindset. Like, you guys have won 2 games. You know you're the underdog. You get to the draft for Game 5, and they've come back. Were you guys feeling fragile at that point? Like, where was the team at going into Game 5 against the #1 seed?
I would say we were confident. All Track was a map that we planned to go to, and the other 4 maps had either been played or banned. We had a strategy in place, and the way the first 2 games were going map ban, and the way the banning phase was going, the hero pick, it felt confident. So I think overall we were excited to go to that map, excited to give them that first pick, to grab what we needed to grab, and then counter what we saw. And I think we all put it together. I think
And that's the thing. I think very much because we had those 2 games, we knew we could do it. We going into the last one going, sure, we may be the underdogs, but we are a very scrappy bunch of cats, is probably the best way to put it. There's no point giving up until things is over. Play it like any other match. We're here to win, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
Are there any more questions from you, Hoku?
Yeah, so now that you have locked down, punched your ticket to the second round, is there a particular team that's still in the series that you're either looking forward to playing or you're really hoping you don't have to play?
I have not thought that far ahead.
It's only 4:30. You've got plenty of time.
I know for me, so me and Apple's actually sitting right next to him. We missed the first half of the season, so we were excited to play Zul'jin Distillery because we didn't get to play them. So like any of the other heavy hitters, I'd like to play. The teams I didn't get to play, so I don't think we played like Bad Rats or Heavy Group Therapy. So they're 2nd and 3rd seed. So
I do think it would be cool to face off the other team we did forfeit against.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was that?
I think it's one of those teams.
Good question.
Okay. Fair enough.
I could tell you, but I honestly can't recall.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, as your division moderator, I am aware that you folks did have some challenges at the beginning of the season, and I'm really glad that you hung in there, stuck it out, and made it into the second round of the playoffs, if not further.
I will say it's
Props
series
to
like
that,
this that makes being a caster so damn rewarding. We don't do it for the pin, we don't do it for the mug, we don't do it for the artwork. We do it to watch some damn fine hots, and that's absolutely what we got tonight. I want to thank you guys so much for making this so good. Like, if my girlfriend gave a crap about video games at all, she'd be hearing about this all damn night. So, is there anyone you guys want to shout out? I mean, I could ask you questions about this stuff all night, but I suppose that after 3 hours here, we all probably have things to do. Who would you guys like to shout out now that you've, again, like Hoku said, punched your ticket to the second round?
Ghost, you start.
Well, thanks to Zul'jin Distillery for giving one of the most exciting series ever, and then also thanks to them and the captain for working with us. Like, as soon as we knew we made playoffs, we kind of gave them a very small window to see if they could fit it pretty early in the 2 weeks, and they communicated very well. So, and that's always nice to see in another team. So I'll thank them for a great series and just helping us make this game happen, rather than postponing it or something. And then thank you too for casting. That was last minute, so love that you guys came in and did that for us. And then,
I have to say it was probably more entertaining than Inting versus anybody would have been. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll hand it off to you, Lime, to finish up.
I'm so happy that both teams kind of had their full strength 5, because it always makes the series more entertaining from both playing it and a viewer and even a caster status. It's always more interesting when both teams are going fully at each other. Thank you, Twitch chat. I'll do work for you. Thank you, Twitch chat, for showing up. Thank you, Koala, who has been a little bit out of it as of late, but our captain is still around supporting us in the chat. Thank you, yeah. Again, thank you, Zorgen Distillery, and thank you, you too, for casting.
I'm so glad Hoku was here with me. I would be literally voiceless after 7 casts on Saturday. So, again, congratulations. I don't know if I've said it. Congratulations, guys. This was an incredible... It doesn't even matter what the seedings was. This was an incredible feat. This entire series was brilliant, but to come out... I don't know if you saw it. The final kill count in game number 5 was 22-6 in your favor. It didn't always look like the momentum was in your favor, but you came out to win it. And that... Okay, one last question. That boss steal in the bottom. That boss steal in the bottom, that really flipped the momentum in your favor. How hard did you guys pop off when you killed 4 people and stole bottom boss?
Oh, man.
I think it was quite controlled, actually. Like, quite controlled. We did it, what's next? We didn't really take... We took a moment to go, we did it. But I think the reason why we were able to keep momentum is because we immediately went, okay, well, how do we keep that momentum now we haven't? So, quite calm, oddly.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like, even after we kind of staggered them, and, like, typically we'd be like, oh, core, and we win, we kind of kept, focus Rag, make sure he's, molten core, oh, Rhaegar's there. We didn't really get excited until it was over. That was kind of cool to see all of us stay locked in on that win. Even after that boss still, we stayed focused throughout the end. We were so scared. They're a great team. Honestly, like, even being on objective, Telthas's flame strikes were scaring me when they would hit 2 of us. So we just stayed locked in and made sure we didn't make any mistakes at that point. So
well, we'll let you get back to celebrating with your team. You guys have 100% earned it. Give our gratitude to IT Cowboy Apple and PJ Red. They were every bit as part of a fantastic team effort. And GG's, guys. Thanks so much.
No worries. Thank you too.
Yeah, take care.
And that is that. An absolutely epic 5-game series to start the Div C playoffs. If we get any more series like this, Hoku, do you think we're going to be able to handle it?
No. Absolutely not.
What a succinct answer. I love it. But that is it for us tonight, guys. Any parting thoughts before we close the stream down, Hoku?
I'd like to congratulate both teams. That was such a fun series, both to cast and to watch. I think both teams left all of it out there on the battlefield. You really can't ask for anything more. And I look forward to how Cats My Keyboard are going to progress through the playoffs. And I'm going to look forward to the return of both of these teams next season.
Yeah, Hoku said it. Thank you so much to both of these teams. I mean, if it was possible for them to both proceed after this insane series, that would be my vote. I want to see more heroes that looks like this, because that was so splendid. Thank you to everyone who was here in chat. It's always more fun to cast, and you've got people to chat with. And thank you to Hoku for co-casting. It makes life more interesting. It makes casting more fun. And, it's always a pleasure spending time with you, Hoku, so thank you very much, partner.
Anytime.
That is it for us tonight. If you want to see this series again, and let's be honest, you're going to want to, you can mute me for when I pop off, though, if you need to. It'll be on Twitch for 7 days. I will upload it to my YouTube Homester as well. Here's hoping we can get some matchups with Hoku and with Tokibi and some of the amazing casters, other casters here in NGS for some of the later playoff finals. And here's hoping also we see, series that are this tight and this awesome going forward. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to these teams. I hope this inspires all of you to go out there and enjoy some Heroes of the Storm. I'm Omster. She's Hoku. Have a great night.